Hello and welcome to the Sunday Night Social here on Hughes of the World, and I'm joined by Mike Dix of cartoony fame. How you doing, Mike Dix of cartoony fame?
I'm all right.
Are you all right?
I'm all right, thank you.
Good, good.
I'm very well. I've moved
Oh,
house.
you have. You're in a different location. Although that could just be like a backdrop that you've just put in to make it look like you're in a new
I
place.
did think about putting the backdrop from the last place in here, basically, but yeah.
um, yeah. Oh, well, listen. First of all, just want a big shout out to everyone in the chat there. We have got Sarah Davis, we've got Billy Kershaw, we've got Chris C, we have got Diz in the chat, we've got Pete, we've got Blah Blah CW, got Liam, got Phil and Alex, and Toonami is in there as well. Hello, everybody. Steve is in there. Listen, if you'd like to join our friends in the friendly chat, all you need to do is hit the friendly subscribe button and wait for a minute, and you can join in. Mike, first of all, I was going to talk about the round ball competition that starts this week in
Oh, is there one?
America. What,
Oh,
what,
that's
what are
nice.
your views on the round ball, on the kickball
I
tournament?
I think it's nice that men have something to do during the summer.
Yeah? Otherwise, they just
Yeah,
walk
but
around being weird, hang around in
otherwise they go to
parks,
Southampton and try and beat the police up, don't they? So it's
starting
quite nice.
conversations about SCART cables. Yes, you're right. Gives them something else to do other than to attack the police, which is
Yeah.
something that, you'd think the Americans would like that. You'd think the Americans would be like, oh, great, these are the type of people we can do business with. But apparently not. So a group of Scottish fans this week found out this week that they weren't going to be allowed in to the USA to watch the football matches that they bought tickets for, even
Really?
though they had applied for the ESTA, the Electronic Travel Authorization. They had applied for it months ago, and they said, yeah, you can come in. So they booked everything, booked the hotel, booked the flights, booked the accommodation, the tickets to the game, getting to the game, everything else. And then this week, literally a few days before the tournament starts, a load of them have got a message off the American government saying, "Nah, you can't come. Change our mind."
Well, did they give the reasons why, or is it just because they're Scottish? Or
Probably because they're Scottish. I mean, that's the main reason I think that anyone
Hmm.
would give. I think it's because in America, haggis is illegal, so they might smuggle haggis into the country, and that would be
I bet there's photos of them on Facebook wearing kilts, and
yeah.
they've
Oh well, there you go.
misgendered
They
themselves,
misgendered
basically.
themselves, and so they can't go to America to watch the kickball tournament.
So
Toonami
it'll
says
be.
it's a complete shit show, and Sarah Davis says, "Hi Graham, hi the legend that is Mike Dix." There
Oh,
you go. You are the
dodgy word.
legend.
Okay.
Alex says, I personally love football and watching England and used to hang a St. George's flag at my window during tournaments, but I won't now in case my street thinks I'm a refucker. We need our flag back.
Mm.
Yeah, I massively agree with that. The only time that we should be flying flags like that is at a time when the national team is playing. Otherwise, it's a bit exclusive, you know? It's a bit like, oh, well, we just want the English people here. And you're like, well, what about the Scottish people and the Welsh people who also make up our rich
Have you
tapestry
seen
of nations? What about the people
have you
from other
seen
countries?
Iceland, the supermarket, launched a range of England and half England, half Scottish football shirts,
No.
and absolutely nobody in either country wants to buy them. Basically, it's
No. Iceland
that's
did. What?
look it up. Look it up. Iceland, the supermarket, launched a
Iceland
range of
there must
England
have been a
Scotland
joke.
fan shirts.
Oh, come on. No one's that mad.
I don't think so. It's a genuine
This must
publicity
be
photo.
AI. England Scotland kit. Borders supermarket unites Scotland and England in one. A split, a uniquely. Oh, it's from Berwick on Tweed. That's why.
Ah, right. It's because
That's
they're on the
it.
border.
Yeah, I see it. Borders supermarket unites Scotland and England in one shirt. So there you
Have
go.
you seen the photo? I can't see the photo you're looking at, but there's three very, very unhappy looking people wearing them in the photo that I saw.
No,
on
in the
Twitter.
photo that I've got, which I just put on the screen now for everyone, it's a man and a woman outside the food warehouse wearing their Iceland's
Yeah,
top. But it is Berwick upon Tweed, which was Scottish, and then it was English, then it was Scottish, then it was English, then it was
they're,
Scottish and
they're
English,
doing
English,
that,
Scottish, Scottish,
doing it
English.
for the publicity.
Yeah, quite famously. You can still get deep fried haggis in Berwick upon Tweed, even
It's
though
one of
it's
these
still
things, though, isn't
part
it?
of England,
Like
apparently.
I mean, I've got some Scottish heritage, so I'd happily wear one. But if England got knocked out and Scotland went through, to the semi-finals or something, basically. But I think most England fans would probably support Scotland, wouldn't they? But I think most Scotland fans would not support England if it was the other way around.
Yeah. But, there's like 1,000 years of subjugation, and also, that whole thing of like dragging them out the EU against their will, Mike. Remember that?
Yeah, I
get it. I get it.
But then what about the Caravanette? Come on.
What about the Caravanette?
The SNP embezzling Caravanettes and
the Winnebago. The Loserbago.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just got to go on holiday with embezzled funds. I don't know, mate. I think it's just one of those things where there's a few bad apples, isn't there? But it is quite funny that the leader of the SNP didn't know her husband was spending all this money on a camper van.
£450,000 she was unaware of, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, she should really take an interest. Like, he could have been having an affair and she would never know.
I think that's quite likely. Although looking at him, not sure.
Looking at...
right,
because okay, fair enough.
Is it an ex-husband now? Are they divorced? Because she's been slagging him off.
So I think so. I think they're split up. I don't know if they got divorced yet, but they are. I think they're not together. Francis, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Can the Scottish government just close Turnberry? That's Trump's golf course in Scotland. Can they just close it? Yeah, just close it down. Say there's asbestos there or anthrax. Like Anthrax Island off the coast of Scotland.
Yeah.
Come on,
but
let's
they choose
do it.
not to. They choose not to do that.
And then another one from Francis Winrow. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Blackburn Rovers shirt. There you go. Toonami says, yes, he needs to retire, unfortunately, for the sake of himself and his family. Who are we talking about there? Trump? And Jimmy Anderson, Bowling Genius, says, evening, Graham and Mike. Evening all. Hello, how you doing? This jolly evening. Liam says, 5 magic beans, only 5 magic beans a few years back. 5 magic beans, that's all you need. But Scotland and England shirts with Iceland, the food warehouse on the front, they are awful, says Alex. Yeah,
I didn't even know Iceland had qualified.
Yeah, that's a point. Iceland aren't even in it. Italy aren't in it, They didn't qualify.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's the biggest number of teams ever.
It's 48 teams
in the competition.
And
Italy didn't manage to qualify.
No. Because they've got a particularly hard group because they're in UEFA, so they're playing against European teams, whereas like the North America teams, like eventually, like Curacao got in. It's got a population of like 2 people and a goat, and they managed to get into the World Cup. But Panama's in the same group as England, So my loyalty's a bit.
Dual passport holder now, aren't you?
No. I just have residency. In good old Panama. But I got this week, which is my new British passport.
Proper blue one.
Look, proper blue one. None of this meringue colour.
Red malarkey.
But I was trying to show people the difference. I was saying, what do you notice the difference? And everyone's like, it's blue. And I'm like, no, apart from it being black, it's not blue, but it's the shape of the crown. Look, the crown has changed shape. Because that's King Charles III's crown, and that was Queenie's crown. There's different crowns.
Have they actually altered the shape of the crown to fit his head then, or something?
Yeah, because that looks like a penis, whereas that one looks like a pair of boobs. You see,
that was the intent of the jewelry.
Gendered stereotype. So that's my additional passport. So I now have an additional passport, and so I now have 2 black ones. One with the old crown on and one with the new one. But the old one is still winging its way back to me from the passport office. And I'm really, really scared that they might have clipped it and thought, oh, he's finished with this one. And if they have, I'm in so much trouble, Mike.
Why?
Because it's got my residency in for Panama and it's got my American visa in, which is valid for another 8 years.
Geek. Well, you're not going back to America for a while anyway.
Well, after Trump, I might want to change planes there or something. But Francis Winrow, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Christian Eriksen collapsed playing for Denmark. Remember, he had collapsed Euros a few years ago. Oh yeah, there was a Danish player who collapsed on the pitch and died.
They reckon was that That's not recently.
No, that was a few
That's
years ago. It was
previously.
a Danish player. It was
No,
awful,
because
awful story.
doctors have been saying that the temperatures in North Mexico and Miami are likely to be in the 34, 35s
Yes.
during the games.
Yeah. And they weren't allowing people to take bottles of water in. And now they changed the
Yeah,
rules
yeah.
because they're gone. So England played a friendly against New Zealand yesterday, and there were 50,000 empty seats in the stadium. It was absolutely shocking.
Really?
Yeah, it
For
was
a
a friendly. It
friendly?
wasn't a main game, but still, like it was in Tampa in Florida, and just no one was interested. And the pitch looked fucking horrible. The pitch, you know, like you could see when they roll out the turf, they've obviously got like sections of turf to roll out. You could see the edges of the turf.
What do you think's likely to happen? Because it's like every major sporting event, every Olympics, every World Cup, the press for the couple of weeks in the run up to it say they're not prepared, it's shit, everyone's going to die, it's all going to be awful. And then it turns out not to be. Do you think it's part of the PR process that they all go lower expectations just in case, basically?
Germany had the fairy tale World Cup in 2006, and then everyone said that that South Africa would not be ready for the 2010 competition, but they were, and they did quite well. But also we sometimes get this with
London.
The Olympics.
Do you remember London Olympics?
Olympics. It's not ready. It's not ready.
We weren't ready. It's going to be shit. It's going to be the worst ever.
Yeah, in Athens in I think 2002, and then that wasn't ready. That wasn't. China was ready. Couldn't argue with that.
Yeah. And everybody was going to die in Qatar, but they didn't.
Yeah, everyone was going to die in Qatar, but then they didn't. Well, that's the thing. They do like to over egg the pudding a little bit. Some of the more sort of like, oh my god, it's going to be a disaster. And don't forget, it's not just being held in the US, it's being held in Canada and Mexico. In fact, the first game, I think, is in Mexico City on Thursday. Yeah. So,
I was reading yesterday that Iran is not allowed to play games outside of Mexico. So if they qualify, if they get through the groups,
they'll have to go
play in America.
No, they are allowed to play in America, but they're not allowed to take any people with them, I don't think, like any of the other people in the the coaches and the physios and their families.
You wouldn't wish it on anyone. I think somebody in the chat said there was a shooting near the England camp or something.
Oh, was there already?
It's crying out for a mass shooting incident, isn't it? I'm not suggesting anyone do it, and it would be a stupid fucking idea if anyone did, but it's just crying out for it. Or an ice problem.
There was a mass shooting in Ohio yesterday. Last night, 12 people wounded. As two people are having a gunfight. They were literally two people having a gunfight in the middle of a crowd.
I mean, it's just America, isn't it? Like we can find a mass-ish shooting anywhere we want in America almost every day, I suppose. But...
Yeah, and Erica Kirk, I don't know if you know this, but Erica Kirk said that Europe was dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice to get that kind of warning from her.
She said,
didn't her husband get shot on a school campus?
Yeah, he got shot on like live television. Yeah,
did he get shot in the face? Yeah, or in the neck.
It was so much safer in the US than it is in Europe. That's what she says.
Well,
because
safe if you want to get rid of your husband.
The US is safe under Trump. Well, her husband wasn't. Yeah. She's a nutter. He dodged a bullet getting out of that relationship. Too soon.
I still think she did it. She wasn't on the stage with him, was she, at the time?
No.
There's no.
And she's having a lot of fun with it, isn't she, with her firework displays and stuff. I'm grieving. Who's here for the grief? Yeah. Woo. It's like South Park, isn't it? It is a South Park sketch, but it's like real. Jimmy says, this is the second time I'll be boycotting, although I am volunteering at the Women's T20 World Cup, so I'll be too busy. Fair enough. Toonami says it's going to happen, unfortunately, because America is gun nuts. And Dirty Ben says, to be fair, a lot of people did die building the stadiums in Qatar. Yeah, 6,000 people died.
That's very true.
Building those stadiums
very true.
In the desert in 50-degree heat, because that's sensible. They actually had to move the World Cup to winter, so it was like marginally cooler, and they had air conditioning in these stadiums. It's just like...
They are. FIFA and Trump are just
Ollie.
for each other, though.
Hello, Ollie.
Really?
All right, mate.
Ollie.
What do you know about the kickball competition? Are you interested in kickball or just board games?
No, I'm
Oh
not interested.
shit, Ollie! I thought you were going to bail me out on this conversation.
No, I'm not interested in this foot to the ball game.
Oh, fuck the ball. Oh, shut up,
Well,
head
we've
the ball.
established
Do you call people
that
head the ball?
there's a Cup of the World going on in North America, apparently.
The whole world has been
And
put into a cup.
lots of teams will be playing. We're not sure who. And yeah,
Yeah. Exciting
apparently
stuff.
ladies not allowed to play in this one. They have to play in their own version.
Yes. Which they weren't allowed
is
to
pretty
for
good.
a very long time.
It's quite good though, because apparently the ladies actually fucking win.
Yes,
So,
they do.
you know.
But in the ladies scene, the England ladies scenes are very, very good. And they've won the Euros back to back, which is amazing, which the men's team have never done. But until the 1980s, if you were an association football team and you had a stadium like Old Trafford or Goodison or Anfield or something, and you let women play on your field, you were kicked out of the FA.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite illegal, but it may as well have been literally illegal to let women play football.
Because the women's game was massive in the First World War, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because there were no men in the munitions factories, and most of the factories had a football team.
Yes.
So it was a massive sport. And then after the First World War, the Football Association clamped down, tried to shut down all the teams.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And they did. I mean,
ridiculous.
but now women have fought to get their own league, and now it's gone so far as who was it? Was it J.K. Rowling? Was it? No, it was one of those transphobes who are now like trying to sue the people who do park run.
Because
the fun run that people have on Saturdays.
Oh,
They're getting sued by like one of those transphobic groups like Sex Matters or something for allowing trans women to take part in the fun run that isn't a competition.
Jesus.
That you only
What is
compete
wrong
against
with
your
that
own
woman?
personal best.
Yeah, because I don't understand how they'll do that, but that'll be weird. That'll be weird when that comes around.
Yes.
No, speaking of suing, do you know that the Reform Councils Essex, Suffolk are suing the government over LGR?
What's LGR?
It's local government reorganisation.
No. Tell me more, young man.
That'll be £100,000 of taxpayer money wasted potentially on that. So that'll be fun.
Why?
What are they suing them for?
What are they suing them for?
LGR. So they don't like LGR at all, because the whole point of LGR is right. We're going to sort of simplify the council system rather than having like 13 different councils in one area. We're just going to simplify it to 3, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Is this a Labour idea, or was this started under the Tories and continued under Labour?
I think this was a Labour idea.
No,
was it?
It started under the Tories.
Start under the Tories.
Because
it's a good idea.
If you've got a
It is
problem,
a good idea.
if you've got a problem, and
I've
you're
just-
like, and do we need to go to the county council? Do we need to go to the city council? Do we need to go to the parish council? And if you've got all these different elections for these different groups, and it's like, well, we're in charge of this, and there's loads of overlap, and it is confusing. So
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
I've just moved across county lines. Don't tell the
Oh,
police about the county lines bit, basically. But I've gone from East Sussex to West Sussex.
Oh,
you dirty
and it's like you've
bastard.
gone to a different planet.
Well, like I say, they did it in North Yorkshire first, and it's been a rousing success up in North Yorkshire. So
yeah.
They're talking about merging East and West Sussex and creating Sussex Council. And everybody in Chichester, or Chai as we like to call it, apparently, everybody in Chichester is up in arms that they don't want to be in the same council as Brighton. And everyone in Brighton is going, where the fuck's Chichester? Just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Very different places.
The thing is, it'll still people still won't care. They'll still be like, "Who's my local councillor? Who do I go to if I have this problem?"
Having moved to a village, and I may as well have moved into the Archers here, basically. I met the
do you have theme music?
We had a plumbing problem, and the local plumber came round, and absolutely lovely bloke. And I said to him, it's a bit like living in the Archers. And he said, yeah, well, you've just met the Eddie Grundy of the village, so you're on the right track.
Sorry, you're gonna have to explain that.
That was a very deep cut reference for the
fuck
Archers.
Off. Fuck off! I've just sustained 20 minutes of soccer ball conversation. And I
I've
can't
never
drop
listened
an
to an
Archers
episode of the
reference.
Archers. I know the music though.
Somebody in the chat must have listened to the. I grew up listening to the Archers. It was on in
We're
our
being
house
asked if
every
we're
night.
seeing the new Channel 4 drama Tiptoe, the Russell T Davies show. I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen the trailers.
I've
It looks
finished The Boys, and I've finished fucking the what's that one where they're on holiday together? It's like a British version.
I
of,
heard
like,
The
Lotus.
Boys
Seen that?
ends really badly.
Oh no, it was
No
all right.
spoilers,
It
but
was all right.
was it
It
okay?
was all right. Wasn't amazing. Didn't set me world on fire, but you know, it wasn't like Game of Thrones. It wasn't like, oh my god, what did they do? So I saw the end of that. Watched the end of because Good Omens finished, and I felt a bit torn about watching that, because all that stuff came out about Neil Gaiman not being a very nice man. But yeah, they did like a one-off long episode to finish off the series. And then what else has finished? Loads of things have finished this week. Anyway, so they're all finished, so I can watch Tiptoe now.
Oh, I'll tell you what you should watch: Spider Noir with Nick Cage.
That's the other one. I finished watching that yesterday, Ollie. Thank you for reminding me. It is so much fun.
Oh my god, it's Nick Cage at his best.
Nick Cage doing an impression of Nixon,
a man in a spider.
And he's like, why am I talking like Richard Nixon? I don't know.
I'll tell you what you two need to consume in content. The Archers. Go back to the. If you just start listening from the first episode, right? 62 years later, if you listen to it once a day, basically, you'll have caught up.
Yeah. This is what we'll have to do. We'll have to have like an Archers special of like where two of us watch who have never watched the Archers before. We listen to it for a month and then we meet up again and we're like, this is what we think of the Archers. Did you hear what us experiencing?
Did you hear what Kathy at the local pub did? Yeah.
Someone's saying Jenny Robinson saying Russell T Davies made a turfy comment. I haven't heard that. Can you tell me more? Because
I did hear an interview with him where he was
because he's quite cutting against the turfs apparently in Tiptoe. I mean, can we just go through something, by the way? Because this week it was brought up in Parliament by Stella Creasy. They're trying to stop this guidance that's come through from the Equalities and Human Rights Commission, right? Which is guidance on how to deal with trans people existing. And so what my question is right, say I'm working at the bar and I'm a bloke, obviously, and then I'm pouring a pint of Guinness, right? And then I'm waiting for it to settle so I can just top it up. And someone comes running from the women's toilets, right, in tears, really distressed. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And they say, I think there's a woman in the toilet and she's a bit minging. And I don't know if they should be allowed to be in there anymore because she doesn't conform to my Western beauty standards. Now, at that moment, what do I do? Do I have to put my drink down, go into the women's toilets myself and investigate? Because I don't want to. I mean, I'm not allowed in the women's toilets, am I? I'm a cisgender.
You got to be very... you got to be very careful. You're a cisgender heterosexual man.
Yes.
And obviously, you're a persecuted minority.
So I can't kick the door down. All right. So do I call the police?
The police will come and arrest you.
Oh yeah, they will.
Suspecting because you're a minority.
Do I wait for them to come out of the bathroom and then do I have to make my own assessment before what do I do at that point? Do I have to collect the poos and wees they might have left in the toilet? Do I have to collect a net for the poo and then present that as evidence that they used the wrong toilet?
If you've got your mobile phone with you, you can apply to J.K. Rowling's fund and raise some money to sue the pub for the PTSD that it's caused you.
Because of, okay. I'm a bit worried about the poos and wees thing, though, because when they flush the toilet, it's going to be really difficult to get it back out the sewage system. You'd have to have like a separate sewage system.
What you could do,
toilet, just in case
you could just go and hang out. If you hang out in one of the cubicles in the ladies' toilet.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Filming.
Yeah, with a camera. Or my phone. I could just do it with my phone, but it's got the light on, right? And then a woman comes in, and I can demand to see her genitals to make sure that it's all right as she goes for a wee.
Yeah, and then we could
if you create a whole
website infrastructure for that, so that you can get people to upvote and downvote.
Oh, good. We'll get the wisdom of crowds. So I could take these like horrific pictures of women against their will and put them online, and people can judge them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
that's what the guidance says, right? That's what that's what I understand.
I think that's what they're saying.
Says.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Or
I'm hardly even joking here.
Trans people have to take their own toilet to the pub, apparently, and
carry their own toilet on their back, and then they can use that in the
It's
middle of the
fucking
pub.
ridiculous. It is.
Is
just
it, Mike?
ridiculous.
Is it ridiculous? Because it
I think what
absolutely
they should
is
do is
ridiculous.
If I ran a pub, right? If you run an old pub around here, you can't actually build a third toilet anywhere, really, because you'll never be able to get planning consent to do that anyway. So ultimately, I'd knock down the wall in between the two toilets, make them unisex, and say, "Fuck you all, just get on with it," basically.
Yeah.
Because like the guidance
that's gonna cost you
effectively
money.
is saying
It's going
that
to cost
all of
you
these
money.
old
Pubs are
buildings,
going under.
etc., got to
Yeah, pubs are going under because they can't afford anything, Mike. And you're saying that you want them to do some renovation work on the bogs.
I'm not saying that
Bullshit.
at all. I'm saying that's better than building a third toilet, which is what. The
Or
government's
maybe
effectively
we could just
suggesting,
continue like it used to be, where trans women could just use the fucking women's toilets, which is the toilets that they should be using anyway.
Quite right.
And
Yeah, it does feel like we've gone back because we were at this conversation point. I'm pretty sure,
hello,
like
Ed.
what 2017, I think, and we're at exact same conversation we were back then about places having to build a third toilet.
No, but I think things were a lot better in 2017 for trans rights in this country. They've gone downhill massively. A few years ago, we were number one in Europe for LGBT plus rights. Now we are 22nd. We're like the lowest in the whole of Western Europe, alongside, I don't know, fucking Monaco or something.
I need to, with Edward appearing, I just want to point out, I saw a picture on social media of you today, Edward, with a cross of St. George wearing a ballet tutu.
Yeah.
And I need you to explain the picture because I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was brilliant.
Okay, so I'll give you a bit of background to this. This is an image that was generated by members of the Worcester Patriots group that have been trying very hard. Like, they're the same flagger nonsense. They're the people who put flags up on lampposts.
Flag nonsense.
Yeah, flag nonsense. Is
flag nonsense. I can say it.
Nonsense.
I like
I
it.
said nonsense.
Flag nonsense.
So
I'm talking nonsense.
I very specifically said nonsense. I just have to put that on the record. But the same people who were putting up all of the flags, one of their group has discovered the magic of AI and thinks it's very clever to make embarrassing pictures of people that they don't like. And this was an attempt to do something like that. And I unfortunately saw that it has been circulated by some other people. And I thought, I just have to get on top of it. I have to explain my point of view about this, which is actually, aside from the fact that they're trying to make this, a trans issue, they're trying to basically identify me as a trans person and therefore, evil, scary trans people. Wow. Because that's about as far as
with a hint of Billy Elliot as well.
So that's about as far as they can get their heads. That is sophisticated thinking for them. The fact is, though, ballet and dance are really important and are really powerful tools for improving people's lives, and they are reinforcing a horrible stereotype about male dancers all being, essentially failed women or something. And it's incredibly childish. But I thought I wanted to take the opportunity to turn it round and say, actually, this kind of behavior, it's very, very childish, and it's not just harming someone like me. It's more about the harm they're doing to any boys who might actually want to do dance as a serious thing, because there are lots of benefits to taking part in dance.
Serious lack of male dancers. It's a massive thing that the arts sector really needs.
Genuinely, like men who are willing to learn how to dance, and again, it's not an unmanly thing to do. But it's a cheap gag to get an AI to put a pink tutu on someone, because that's apparently what we're doing with modern technology these days.
But Edward, I thought you did a great job with the post. I thought it was exactly the right thing to do. Own it.
Well,
just say, I'm fucking proud of this picture.
I can't make it go away. I'd rather do something good with it, and I'd rather make it my own.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the way I'm looking at it. Is that is the story behind it. Someone was trying to do it to score cheap points, and I thought, no, we're not having that. We're going to turn this into something positive. We're going to talk about the power of dance to make people's lives better, because that's a story that needs to be told.
Yeah, I agree.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Genius.
But yeah, I also saw pictures of you monkeying about down up in Makerfield, I believe.
Yeah, I have driven both ways today from Worcester to Makerfield. So
I'm back again, and you're doing the show. You must be exhausted.
I'm not going to be here for the whole evening, Graham.
Okay, all right. How's Angela? I saw you were hanging out with our friend
I
Angie?
said hello to Angela. I didn't get
Yeah.
to quite squeeze in the bit about coming onto Politics Social, but if I get another time, I'll make sure to
Yeah, we'll
ask.
love
She
to get her
knows.
on.
She watches anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
What?
naturally.
Hey, Ange, you're right.
Yeah. But basically, like it was really good. I think the atmosphere at the campaign center is obviously really good. I've been in election campaigns of all different stripes at this point. I've been in ones that were going really well. I've been going in ones that were going really badly. I've been in everything in between. I know what things I'm looking for if I think things are not going well or if things are going well. And I would say cautiously optimistic is the feeling. And
Okay.
that's a nice thing to be able to take away. You don't want to come out of a campaign center thinking, wow, everyone's electrified, because then they're probably missing something really important. If you're assuming that you're going to win handsomely, you're probably not going to win handsomely. You should always be just keeping your eyes open, keeping your ears open, and taking nothing for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. Dancing is unmanly now. Some people are ludicrous. Yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah,
But the feeling, Edward, the feeling on the doorstep. Not the feeling amongst the Labour activists. But
Yeah. You caught me in my lie there, Mike. I was going to say, no, fair question. The feeling on the doorstep was really interesting, and there was one thing that kept getting chucked back at us, and no word of a lie. This is just what was being chucked at us on the doorstep.
Was it poo?
Question time. It was BBC Question Time. People were really wanting to talk about BBC Question Time. They watched a serious Reform candidate crash and burn on question.
Can we just go serious in quotation?
Yeah, as in someone they are being asked
The
to
candidate.
take seriously, the candidate for Makerfield, and this fella that they have dredged up turns out to be completely unserious, doesn't know what he's doing, basic questions of competence and preparedness.
What wasn't prepared to prepare?
Ed, are you telling me Reform candidates are unserious, underprepared? and don't know what
I
they're
can't
doing?
believe it.
What?
Yes,
this
I
is
am
the
telling
same.
you that.
This is the same party with Lee Anderson in it, yeah?
Come on.
Yes, I am telling you that.
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
wow.
An
believe-
absolute legend. He did that.
I mean,
thing
he
where ate some
prepares for
chips.
door knocking, doesn't he? He totally prepares for door knocking by
Lee Anderson
knocking on his
doesn't.
Mate's door.
mates' doors,
Yeah.
basically.
Ringing them beforehand, saying,
What do,
say
what
that
do you
you're
think
running
of
up
Lee
with
Anderson?
policies."
Oh, I'm going to vote for you, mate. I told you that last night in the pub.
Shh, don't say that. So
there is just genuinely that was the thing being thrown at us. There was actually we spoke to a number of people who had been planning to vote Reform who aren't anymore because they.
I was going to say, and when you say it's being thrown at you, they're saying that guy's a fucking idiot and I can't vote for him. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. It seems to have. I would say it's turned a switch in a lot of people's brains. I think a lot of people saw that breakdown and just thought, no, not able to vote for this.
So
it's like the BNP back in the day, because was it Nick Griffith appeared on Question Time, and there was a point where they were on the rise. He appeared on that and got absolutely chewed through on the air, and then immediately after that, it was like boom, straight down into nothingness.
The odds for Labour at the moment are somewhere around 1 to 6, which means that if you bet £6, you'll get £1 back if they win. So for Andy Burnham to win. So I mean,
if you like losing money, then place a political bet. But I don't think I never recommend political betting for that reason.
No.
But where's Phil? What's Phil done? Has he made a bet?
God, no, don't.
But the top three for winning are Labour by a mile, and then way back is Reform, and then a bit further back from that is Restore Britain, and then the others, Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats, the Greens, Count Binface, they're all 1,000 to 1.
Well, clearly is the safe bet. I mean, it's Count Binface.
Count Binface.
We are really
bring
concerned
back
about
CFAX.
the Binface vote, if I'm honest with you. Like, out there on the doorsteps, like there's a lot of people curious about what the intergalactic sort of traveller has to offer.
He's going to bring us back. He's going to take us back into Europe.
The only
What a
two
mood.
candidates in that by-election that I've drawn cartoons of is Binface and Burnham, so I'm hoping it's one of them that wins.
And of course, a price freeze on kebabs. I mean, clearly
Yeah.
that's a candidate with some serious policy.
Absolutely, and he's going to move
Genius.
the hand dryers in the men's toilets in the pub because they're in an inconvenient place.
Yeah.
Andy, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Andy Thompson, you legend. I'll take my views on men dancing from Hollywood. Best action stars are amazing dancers. Give me Shah Rukh Khan any day. Yeah, agrees.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, the idea that dancing isn't manly. Well, good luck picking up in the old days, like when you used to go out to a nightclub or something. If you weren't prepared to dance, you had to get on the dance floor. You had to strut your stuff. So you had to do. It's like Saturday Night Fever down at the Crazy House every.
I mean,
Saturday
classic
night.
Hollywood as well. I mean, you look at some of like the amazing dancers that were alive. I mean, Fred Astaire is the classic one.
Yeah.
But there's there was a dancer and there's one I was like I was looking at it today and he did a routine and he had 2 shovels and he was using them to tap dance.
Hugh Jackman's a fantastic dancer and he's fucking Wolverine.
Mm.
And also the kid who plays Spider-Man, not Spider-Noir, but Spider-Man.
Oh, you're thinking
Holland.
Yeah, Tom
Holland. Have you
Tom
seen
Holland.
him doing Dancing in the Rain? And then it segues into Rihanna's Umbrella. If you've not seen this, honestly, if you want to be in for a treat, it's like lip sync battle that he was on about, I don't know, 9 years ago or something. And he goes for it. When I say he goes for it, he goes for it. Look it up. Tom Holland singing in the rain. It's so good. It's a bit of internet magic.
It really is.
Yeah. Talking of internet magic. Go on.
So basically, what we're taking away from this is men who dance gain Wolverine claws and the ability to shoot web from their hands. Like,
absolutely,
there are so few male dancers that you can try and fact check me on that one, but you'll have a hard time.
Can I ask Ollie?
The ability to look good in lycra is
yes. That's not me. That's the opposite of me. Ollie, did you say you've seen the end of Spider Noir? Have you watched it all?
Yes,
you have. I don't want to do any spoilers for people, but someone finds out that Nick Cage is the Spider, right? And they have this sequence where they're like, "Oh, did you know?" And they're like, "Yes, I've known for a long time." And they're like these flashback sequences of him being drunk and confessing that he's the Spider, which culminate on the last one with him literally hanging off the ceiling, singing a song about how he's the Spider. And also best bit of TV.
I just want to say again, that is like it is good, crazy Nick Cage acting. You cannot turn away from the screen, and particularly when he's like pretending to be a spider, he's like, I'm a spider. I'm a spider. I don't know why he has to do the Nixon impression, but it's really funny. Like so it is a laugh out loud funny show. Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. Aren't refuck just essentially BMP2, same policies? Yeah, but I think they're actually worse than the BMP because the BMP. Well, I'd say that's more advanced at the moment, given the direction like Rupert Lowe. Well, not advanced, restore. So because advance is gone now.
Advance has disappeared.
Yeah, advance is gone now.
Don't refuck want to get rid of the Equalities Act straight away. That's the first thing they're going to do, and so they'll be able to like your employer. Because employers are so good and so noble and so nice the way they avoid tax and pay people shit for wages. They'll be able to sack people for being a woman or being disabled or having a relative die and taking a day off work. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Right, cool. Okay. Cool and normal.
Oh, to the people of Kent, because apparently we're all about apparently protecting our heritage. In Kent, they are now selling off windmills that have been around there since like 1708.
Oh, don't tell Trump. They kill
Dutch windmills.
They kill the birds. Those windmills. Trump said.
Oh no, not like old style windmills. Like
I know. I'm joking.
I know, but
he calls them windmills. Yeah. He calls wind turbines windmills. He doesn't know what they are. He's scared of them. He thinks, "Oh, is that a tripod? Is it coming to eat me?" It's coming to
It's really worrying down in Kent because I think we've talked before about the fact that they sold off artwork down in Kent not too long ago. No public consultation. They sold off all this artwork and then made a loss selling it off. So no idea where that artwork's going to go. But if you're a county council and your council like owns artwork or public stuff like these parks that these windmills are in, Reform are just going to start selling it off big time.
Yeah.
So I would be very, very worried if you know that your council owns like assets like that in any shape or form. Reform might very well like to sell them off. And of course, my council's pulled a right one this week as well. They've basically just claimed that the chief financial officer is involved in a massive financial cover-up. So I'm sure that won't have any repercussions.
Nice.
So yeah, that could be fun. That could be very fun.
It is very, very interesting to just see how Reform are sort of self-destructing in real time. And I came home. I posted a couple of photos from the trip to Makerfield early on, and I see they have been deluged with comments and negative reactions. And it's like, I'm starting to notice a bit of a pattern here with like the worse things get for them, the nastier the sort of the behavior and the comments seem to be, and the less genuine it all seems to be to me. Like the whole thing just feels like it is this huge con trick, like everybody's being hyped up. It reminds me most of all of cryptocurrency, and it's like some new crypto project is being launched and everybody's being told to hype the hell out of it, so that they can then get some other poor soul to come and buy it, and then they can sell it off, and that person is holding the bag when the whole thing goes belly up.
Yeah.
It just
Ed,
feels like that.
did you hear about Andrea Jenkins walking out of the meeting she was in?
What?
Yeah. So Andrea Jenkins was in a meeting.
This is the mayor of Lincolnshire, the refuck mayor of Lincolnshire.
So she was in a meeting. It was about the whole Henry Noakes murder that had been going on, and they were basically going after her, saying, all this stuff on social media that you've been sort of posting and reposting about this, it's kind of making a lot of problems more worse, not better. And apparently she stormed out because she didn't like the direction the conversation was going.
They are very brittle. I mean, this is the thing that I think that the thing that most worries me, or should most worry anybody about the people on the far right, is how brittle they are. Because if they get anywhere near power, they do what Donald Trump does, and they get litigious, they get aggressive, they try and shut down disagreement. If they're let near power, their insecurity becomes a danger to everybody else because they lash out at anybody who disagrees with them or even mildly criticizes them. They are the absolute worst offenders against freedom of speech. They have no sense of humor. They have no sense of toughness. They have the thinnest skins that you could imagine, and they hurl abuse out there, but they can't actually handle the smallest bit of criticism in return. And I think it is a serious risk. If they hold positions of power, how are they going to handle being told no, which will happen? This is politics. This happens.
Have you seen Kruger's policy on the civil service?
Is that the one to abolish one of the major government departments?
Yeah, so they want to basically bring in do like an office of the prime minister, which I'm not against. I think that might be a good idea to do, because I know the Institute for Government has recommended doing something very similar. So I'm not against that in practice. But what they want to do is they want to go right top level of the civil service with cabinet ministers. That is no longer be staffed by civil servants. That is all going to be political appointees. It is all going to be like staffed
which
by
parties.
This is reforms.
Reform.
Yeah, this is their plan for the civil service. So they basically want to pull up the drawbridge, have no independent political advisors, so that basically no one can come in and with some awkward advice and say, well, you want to do that idea, but basically, and even then, imagine if you were like working like one of these offices, and like they turned around, and you were employed by like this cabinet officer now, would you really speak out against like a crazy reform idea, knowing full well that you had information that might prove that that idea or that policy isn't actually that good? So it's all about basically creating, I think, safe spaces for, if they ever do get in, having, shall we say, cabinet officers that are cocooned in wool and avoiding scrutiny to the absolute maximum.
Yeah. We got a couple of super chats in, which means I am allowed to do this now. 3, 2, 1, confetti! Yay! Woo! Confetti! So a big shout out to Maggie Pie there for the 20
Who
Swedish
says
krona.
men can't dance? Look,
Yeah.
I know.
I can do the truffle shuffle. Brexit, the worse it gets, the nastier its defenders. Yeah, I agree with that, Maggie. And Durhamite Blue says, Confetti! Just demanding it there. So hello there to my fellow Durhamite, I guess. If you are in actual Durham, or maybe your name is like Lena Durham or something. Or I don't know, or maybe you're in Durham in America.
The Durham Council account is now down from 65 to 56 at the moment.
Yeah. One of our youngest councillors has decided to become an independent because she's going to university in September. So,
is that why she left?
Yeah. And we think that she's going to go independent and then sack it off. But if she doesn't turn up to, I think it's she doesn't turn up to a meeting for 6 months, then any resident of the constituency can say, hey, this seat is empty, and then there has to be an election.
When I saw that, I was quite intrigued because in the official statement,
a mum's still a councillor.
Is that's where it comes from? Is her mum? Her mum has confirmed, just like Darren Grimes' mum is also a councillor.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Mum, let's go into politics. It'll be fun.
Whatever else is said about these lovely people, there's one thing we know about them. It's that they can't be sexist because they're related to women.
That was the UKIP candidate, wasn't it, on Question Time? I was brought up by women.
The Reform candidate. Easy mistake to make. They make it themselves.
Sorry, BNP Nazi Party. I can't remember
one more go.
They changed their name so often. It's the National Socialist Party, became the BNP, became Refuck, became Restore, became the Action, became the Nazis. Nazi scumbag party. Yeah, that's it.
Something like that.
Nazi AI plumbers. Have you seen his websites relaunched? With sexy AI plumbers on it, basically.
Why? Is there something about a music video that I've been hearing about as well, like a Rob Kenyon music video? It's supposed to be pretty cringe.
Oh my god, we've got to find this.
Must find. Ollie, look it up quick.
Oh, don't. Avert your eyes. Has anyone else seen Obsession yet? The film.
Obsession.
Yeah.
No.
It's a new film that's just come out in the last couple of weeks. It's a horror film about a guy who makes a wish for this girl to love him more than anyone else in the world. And she does, but she's under a spell. And then she loves him a bit too much. And it's fucking horrific. It's a brilliant movie. Absolutely brilliant. But it asks some very pointed questions about consent and about not necessarily the toxic manosphere, but more the side of it of, men who are like nice guys who expect that women should go out with them because they're nice guys rather than, actually be able to play the guitar or something. I don't know what girls like. But yeah, it's a really good movie. Really recommend it to people watching. If you like horror movies, God, if you don't like horror movies, do not go and see this movie. You'll freak out. The other thing I just wanted to quickly say is that the Rejoin EU petition closes at midnight tonight. We've got over 110,000 signatures on there. So we don't need any more for it to trigger a debate in Parliament. That's already been done. But it's a nice to have. So if you haven't already signed it, please get over there and sign it before midnight.
Can I just credit AliX82 with a great comment? Rob Kenyon's music video, I'm too sexist for this shirt.
Oh, very good, Rob. Very, very good. I think I'll
get that one on a meme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to make an AI video of that, definitely.
just a meme, honestly. Just a meme of Rob Kenyon and
I'm too sexist for this shirt. Too sexist. Excellent. You could get him singing that with AI, but it would be a bit shit. But
I feel like that goes too far. I feel like, just a little bit of
sexist.
Right said Fred are Refuck fans, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
True.
They probably actually record it to try and get themselves some Spotify money.
They played a gig like in Durham City Centre, and it was just absolutely awful a few years ago. And like no one was there, and it was just a horrible thing.
That's
and they walked off after like 2 songs.
Trump's 250th anniversary of American independence, and the only act that's confirmed is Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And 500,000 Vanilli who are still alive.
It's just an observation. is it me or artists seem to fall off at exactly the time that they start turning into right-wing shills? Like just seems to happen, and it's purely coincidental.
Yeah.
But do
Yeah.
you think what's the cause and effect here? Do you think it's they become right-wing shills and then they fall off, or their dwindling career is flagging, so they go for a base of
Yeah.
right-wing wankers?
You mean like Russell Brand and do the Russell Brand thing?
exactly.
I wonder if it's a bit of both.
It's my plan when I'm not popular on this channel anymore. I'm just gonna start a whole music career basically based on right-wing comedy.
Is there such a thing? I mean, I keep being told about right-wing comedy, but I'm not actually aware of very much.
No.
Like,
No,
it's not
mother
funny.
mother-in-law jokes. They're popular.
My mother-in-law is so fat.
I'm just going to go back, dig up Bernard Manning's old.
It's like, but they're digging up material from like the 70s.
Jim Davidson.
Jim
their
Davidson.
precious
Oh,
joke.
he's still performing.
They're still going. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
Here's the thing,
reanimating.
though. They find a base, don't they? And it's, you know, I think if they lean into it, then they can guarantee to fill village halls in certain counties quite easily. So.
Well, in news from America. So first of all, you know the fund that he was going to give £1 million to everyone, $1 million to everyone who beat up a copper.
That's
So you
going
stamped
well,
on a
isn't it?
copper's head, you got £1 million off the government, like a prize. That's been sacked off now, so that's not going ahead. Apparently, they've given up on that one. But they are still going on ahead with their plans for ICE and for giving ICE loads more money to be horrible. And also, you've been mentioning about this gig for the 250th anniversary. Well, near the same time, it's Trump's birthday, and for his birthday celebrations, he's having a UFC fight on his lawn, and apparently, a lot of the UFC fighters are dropping out as well.
Yeah.
So he might have just a lonely time.
He did an interview this week where he said it was such a beautiful structure that it was like the Eiffel Tower that was only meant to be up for one festival.
Yeah.
That he might keep up the UFC octagon, keep it in the White House,
keep it there on the lawn.
It's so beautiful structure. And it's
He
really not a beautiful structure.
He also bragged about the new reflecting pool, which is the old reflecting pool. Except they painted the bottom of it blue for some reason. And he showed it compared with skyscrapers and how long it was. Except the skyscrapers go up, they don't go along. And he was like, this is the longest reflecting pool in the world. And all the French in Versailles were just looking at it going, no, there's the Grand Canal at the Palace of Versailles, which is 400 years old and longer than that.
And he didn't put any foreign skyscrapers on the.
No, it was the Sears Tower.
Either.
It was the Empire State Building, and he was like, "This is the best thing ever." It's just, did you hear it? Did you hear him having a go at it was CNN journalist who asked him about I think she asked him about the $1 million for all the rioters, and he started really having a go at it and saying how ugly she was and how she was a terrible reporter and how she should be ashamed of herself and all this. She's a horrible man.
He's definitely very sick, though, isn't he? He's quite ill, I think, now.
Yes. And talking of sick,
I know we've been wishing illness on him for a while, but I think he's very ill.
Yes, he looks ill. Ed, did anything come up on the doorstep about Nigel Farage this week after the family of Henry Novak saying, "Please don't politicize this," going out and absolutely politicizing it?
I wouldn't say that was something that I'm aware came up. Bear in mind, like, I've only ever had a subset of the conversations that are being had around the city. I don't know what other people will have been getting on the doorstep. I can only speak from the experience of myself and fellow activists in my immediate team. And the number of doors that we knocked on is pretty sizable, but it's not the whole of Makerfield. A long way from the whole of Makerfield. What I would say in terms of like issues that actually came up, it really was around Rob Kenyon and Andy Burnham specifically. It's more about the individual candidates. I would say Nigel Farage didn't get a mention at all today, as far as I could hear. I think the thing that had stuck in people's minds, and granted it's fresh, so it would, but the thing that had really stuck in a lot of people's minds was Robert Kenyon coming across as sexist, as divisive, as incompetent, as not a very useful councillor since having been elected. There's just a lot of negative impressions about Rob Kenyon specifically. I think that in a sense is part of it. I think Reform thus far have got away with a lot because their candidates have kind of been ciphers. They weren't real people. They were just sort of whoever Nigel Farage stood next to. And their qualification for the job is that they were seen in a photo with Nigel Farage, who is the one and only candidate that Reform actually has. But then Nigel Farage has been forced to step back from the campaign to some degree, and that has meant that Rob Kenyon has been forced to put himself forwards as the main face of the campaign. There are not many boards out there with Rob Kenyon's face on it. There's a fair number of the Reform sort of circle arrows pointing at people's houses, but there's not a lot else. Like there's only one or two of the ones with his face on them. There's an awful lot more of Vote Andy for Us. There's a lot more of those out there. And I think it speaks to the way the two different campaigns are working. Reform UK in Makerfield are relying on the Reform brand. That's it. That's the whole of what they've got going for them.
Yeah.
Kenyon is not an asset. Farage even doesn't seem to be much of an asset. It is just the general Reform brand. You know, we want any kind of change, and this is technically change.
Well, the thing is, though, that if you're a refucker, then you'll get more change voting for Andy because you'll change the Prime Minister, which you won't do if he doesn't win.
Which is the paradox that I think is making Reform's fight in Makerfield really quite hard. Because, if you vote for Rob Kenyon, you're basically, I think the unspoken fact of the matter is, voting Rob Kenyon is more likely to extend Starmer's term in office, which the Reform people would claim to be the worst thing imaginable. But genuinely, what was heartening to me was actually that the conversations on the doorstep were not about that big national picture as such. It was about the local picture. People want to know who's going to be their MP. Do they want their MP to be the well-respected mayor of Manchester? Or do they want their MP to be a guy who thinks that he can't be a sexist because he's related to his grandma?
Yeah, I do. Listen, I think Burnham's doing a good campaign and everything else, but I do think that's the danger for him in terms of how he presents himself in this by-election, is that there's a risk that he's just, it can be perceived as just running to become Prime Minister. But I think he's doing a good job of saying, no, it's about the potholes on Middleton
I was
Street.
worried about that. I was worried that might have an effect on the campaign as well. But I'm glad that it's not by the sounds of it.
No, I don't think it has. I don't think that's the conversation whatsoever. I think it has genuinely been about the local issues. If it was about the bigger picture, then I'd have no problem saying that.
No, but I thought his answer on Question Time was excellent, which was, look, I want the people of Makerfield to be represented at the highest level in government, and if that means Prime Minister, then that's fine, basically.
And that was
that's the right answer,
brilliantly there.
I think that's absolutely it.
Apparently, Jenny Robinson saying that REM are writing a new theme song for the Republican Party. It's called "Whiny Crappy Pedos." Talking of America, before we change the subject back to talking about refucking in the UK, I've got a question for you on the chat, and I tried to put it in as a question, but it doesn't quite work that way. I've never used the question function on this before. My question is, I want you to name me something in the USA, but a better version of it exists somewhere else. So it could be something that you buy in a shop, or it could be a place in America. But give me something where a better version exists elsewhere.
I want to just steal Richard 766723's answer, which is spelling.
What do the Americans think that they have, but we have it better? You mean sort of that?
No. Name me something that it exists in the US, but a better version of it exists somewhere else. So, for instance,
Grand Canyon and Cheddar Gorge, maybe.
Well, no, I'd say Petra. Petra's way more fun.
There is a Barnsley in America, but I'm just going to say, the classic original is the best.
It doesn't have to be in the UK; it could be anywhere in the world. So the Niagara Falls are okay, I guess, but the Iguazu Falls on the border of Argentina and Brazil are like way better, like infinitely better. S tier for waterfalls. In fact, the Victoria Falls are better on the Zambezi. But yes, bread has less sugar in it once you're out of the USA. It's very true. I've told you that story, haven't I? About in Ireland, they used to have because they have a VAT on luxury food, and cake was luxury food, so you had to pay VAT on cake. And there was so much sugar in the McDonald's burgers, they were technically classified as cake. You had to pay VAT on the burger ones.
Yeah.
Birmingham apparently is
That's a
better
Cuthbert.
in the UK than it is in America. That's true.
Worcester is obviously going to be better in the UK than in America. Just to make that
Chocolate
very clear.
roundabouts.
I'm not biased in any way.
York is far nicer than New York City. I agree. It smells nicer as well. Even in the Jorvik Viking Centre, which really whiffs. Still smells better than New York on a sunny day. Power outlets, education, London Bridge, plumbing, electricity, plugs, food.
Healthcare.
Cheese. Healthcare. Yeah, absolutely.
America likes to say it's got the best healthcare system in the world, but I think that the millions of Americans that can't access it would probably disagree.
I think the government say that. I don't think any of the normal people would say that. It'd be a bit of a weird thing to say, wouldn't it?
Stephen Fry, that's a good answer, Cuthbert, because the American version of Stephen Fry is a fucking nightmare.
Are we gonna go to The Office?
Who's the American version of Stephen Fry?
I don't know. Is there one? That was my point. I don't think there is an American version.
Do they do an American version of QI? Is there because they do an American version of I Got News for You now, don't they? Did anyone see Michael Gove on Have I Got News for You?
I imagine hilarious. QI. I can imagine QI really does not have a franchise in America. Let's just look it up. But I'm fairly certain.
Well, they got Have I Got News for You now. They're getting there.
Yeah, but that's taken 35 years to be picked up. So.
Ginger beer, the internet, minimum wage, Statue of Liberty. There's a better Statue of Liberty on the what's the river that goes through Paris? The Seine. There's a better Statue of Liberty. It's smaller, but I think it's better. Haggis is better.
The American one was built by the French anyway, wasn't it? So.
It was. It was indeed. It was, and the steelwork inside it was designed by Gustav Eiffel.
There is no American version of QI, which doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Fraser Domino biscuits are better than Oreos. Anything's better than Oreos. The Oreos are horrible. It's like coal dust. It's like they've packed a bit of coal dust together and then tried to make a really sad version of custard cream with coal dust.
They've got PBS, which is technically their answer to the BBC, but I don't think anyone's going to argue that the BBC isn't a whole lot better.
Yeah. Gove had a self-admission of being on a bit of white powder sniffer on Have I Got News for You? Yes.
He did. He's trying to readjust his own PR, isn't he? I think that's what
they laid into him. About. They laid into him last night.
Yeah.
The night before.
Yeah.
Whenever it was. In Vegas, they have a Big Ben that's crap. In Vegas, they have a pyramid that is crap. They decided to build a casino hotel that was in the shape of a pyramid. Do you know what pyramids are really good for? Tombs. That's about it. If you're going to build that shape.
Not great for casinos.
Not great for casinos. Not great for hotels. Not great for shopping centres. Not great in the middle of the fucking Louvre for some reason. No.
They do fit deserts, to be fair. Sort of.
Yeah,
which
tomb in
Las
the desert.
Vegas is. Also, just sidebar, America has built these gigantic water-hungry cities in the middle of the desert.
Yes.
Why?
So they can watch the nuclear bombs explode. That's why Atomic City, Las Vegas, was created. So that people could go there and watch nuclear bombs be set off in the distance.
And then they decided that.
Well, genuine question. What is the history of Las Vegas? Was it that it was a reservation and they could do casinos or something like that?
No, it was just that wherever it was just wasn't covered by a particular law because there was no one there. People turned up to watch the nuclear bombs go off.
Yeah, I think that it was.
Yeah, but Vegas was a thing before the bombs.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
No.
I thought it was.
There might have been an oasis in the desert, but I don't think so. I don't know.
Hang on.
And Palm Springs is an oasis in the desert, but as far as Vegas is concerned, I think it was just set up.
So it was founded May 15th, 1905, according to the expert source Wikipedia. My guess is that it's probably I think it may have existed in a small way, but I think that the gambling laws had a lot to do with it sort of becoming really successful because it had uniquely lax gambling laws.
But it's
It
in
was
Nevada.
the railway and the mafia, basically.
Here's something weird. It's in Nevada, right? And prostitution is legal in Nevada, but not in Las Vegas.
Yeah. You have to drive out to the ranches, don't you?
Apparently, yeah. They have ranches.
Not
for things
apparently.
like that.
So I don't know any of the terminology.
Andy says,
I know much more about football. Let's talk about football.
Mafia desert scams. Tea bags, yes, Russ. I mean, to be honest with you, tea bags are pretty weak everywhere but Britain. This is the only place where you can actually get a decent cup of tea from a tea bag. No one else knows how to do them. They get that Lipton yellow label shite that they put like 2 tea leaves in the bag.
True.
And then you put it in the water, and it's just when like you make a cup of tea, but it looks like milky water, and you go, oh, that's disgusting. That's what you get from Lipton.
It's American tea.
Lipton green, blue, yellow tea. Is Lipton? It's an American company. It might be. It's probably owned by Coca-Cola or something.
Probably.
I mean, it was originally English.
Costa Coffee's owned by Coca-Cola, isn't it? Yes.
I don't know why that caused such a pregnant pause. But
it was like, yeah, whatever.
Probably.
We don't care. Might be.
Coca-Cola own half the world anyway, so.
History, cheese. History's better elsewhere. Cheese. Kettles, definitely, Sarah, because they don't have the power for the kettles because they only have 110 volts. We have 220.
National anthem. They have one of the worst designed national anthems imaginable, especially compared to other countries.
Really? Not compared with ours, though. Ours sounds like a fucking funeral dirge.
Yeah, but the thing is, most national anthems are meant to be at least possible to sing. If you want to sing the American national anthem, you have to be a trained vocalist, which kind of defeats the point.
Yeah.
This is a hill you're willing to die on, Ed. You're passionately involved in this.
I will die on the hill that the American national anthem is inferior to many European national anthems.
Okay.
That is a hill that I am prepared to die on.
No, I have to say, I do like the French national anthem. The French national anthem is, I think, a rip-roaring song.
You can dance to it. You want a national anthem you can dance to. That's what you want.
Lipton is owned by Lipton Teas and Infusions BV, which is a Dutch multinational company headquartered in Amsterdam. That's why they can't make a decent cup of tea, because no one in Amsterdam drinks fucking tea. The Dutch do not drink tea. They don't know what they're doing.
Coffee.
But they also own PG Tips as well. It's a bit funny. There you go. But in 2011, Peter criticised Unilever for continuing and funding experiments on rabbits, pigs, and other animals in an attempt to make human health claims about the tea's ingredients.
They tested tea on rabbits.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Made them drink a cup of tea out of a little porcelain cup. It's very
like
difficult when you don't have an opposable thumb.
Peter Rabbit having a cup of tea.
It's sort of got very Lewis Carroll vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Little rabbit tea party.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a Lipton cruel tea campaign.
Do you think the people that make the rabbit dildo test that on rabbits?
Yes.
Well,
while having a cup of tea.
I mean, just sorry. Was I thinking out loud? I'm sorry.
That would be a real animal testing.
A really horrific sequel to Water Sit Down. Jenny Robinson, you know they're not made for rabbits, right?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
Fuck, I've been
we have
doing
other
it wrong
things
all
for
this
that.
time. It's no wonder we went through so many pet rabbits.
Yeah.
My kids will be very upset about this.
Jenny Robinson, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. America has graham crackers. We have Graham, pronounced correctly, Hughes. Yeah, indeed. They had Howard Hughes, though, who was quite clever.
Although our Graham is crackers.
I see what you've done there.
I'm here all night.
Yeah. The war in Iran has started again tonight, by the way. Iran launching missiles at Israel. Israel bombing Iran right now, says Alex. Yeah.
Of course, because it's bloody Sunday night. It always ends on a Friday and then it starts again on a Sunday night. So the stock market can.
But by the time by the time Trump's tenure or reign of terror is over, he'll be able to claim that he's stopped more wars than any human being ever, because he's stopped the Iran war already like 2 dozen times. So, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got some good news actually earlier in the chat saying that I think it was Warwick Council have now they've got like a rainbow coalition going on, and they're going to fly the Pride flag on Monday morning, which is tomorrow. which is great news. That's great news because it is Pride Month this month, and hence the pride flag on my couch there. I'm absolutely disgusted with these refuck councillors who are like, oh no, we're not going to fly those flags because
well, they've just brought that in Barnsley just this week. So yeah, no pride flag, no Ukrainian flag, which again we have flown above our town hall for a number of years since 2022. We've got a large Ukrainian community from there.
These fuckers would fly a Trump flag and an American flag, wouldn't they? Happily, they would happily do that.
There are certain flags that they don't have a problem with, but they have a lot of problems with others.
They're just ridiculously scared little people. That's the problem.
The
thing that's really rankled with me all week this week is that the only spokesman that Refuck seem to roll out all the time is their unelected chairman or whatever he is that resigned a year ago and was bribed back into existence. What's his name?
Zia Useless.
Zia
Useless.
Right, he's eloquent and a cunt, basically. Excuse me for demonetizing you. But I fail to understand how, particularly on a subject like the Novak story, how do the refuckers sit there and listen to him talking? A Muslim man, a brown Muslim man. How does he and Braverman, how do they sleep at night when they're saying white people are being persecuted in this country and it's pure racism? How do they do it? I cannot understand it at all.
It's an old problem. Like there have always been, whenever there have been racist movements, there have always been a handful of people from minorities who get roped in because it's a great career opportunity. It's a great way to get ahead in life, to be the excuse that they hide behind. I mean, they'll give you all kinds of legs up that no other party, no other group ever would, because you're the only one willing to sell out to them. And so
I think it's the public school thing as well, basically, that they all. A friend of mine once told me that if you needed to understand people like Rishi Sunak or Suella Braverman, then you need to understand that in a private school, those people were bullied by the white cis men and posh boys, and in order to appease them, they out-racist them, basically. And he said, and that's what they went through school dealing with. You know, they developed a thick skin by being more racist than the white one.
Yeah. No,
I figure that's probably the answer, because Yusuf is blatantly the product of public school. He must be on your list, Graham, is he? Somewhere high
Who's
up.
This? Zia Yusuf. I will check for you. I go to my master list because it used to update automatically, but then they made it so you have to pay for it to automatically update when you update the spreadsheet. And now I have to download the spreadsheet as a CSV file and then upload it to my website. And it's a big faff and I can't be arsed, so I haven't updated it for a while. We are on, guess how many people are on the private school mafia list? These are household names that went to private school.
1,700.
1,317. No. Zia Yusuf. No, Zia Yusuf's not on the list. We have Zach Goldsmith, Zach Polanski, Zara Dawson, Zoe Grunwald.
He has to
Zoe
be a
Strimple, Zoe Wanamaker, and Zoe Williams for the Z. So I'm going to look him up. We might have to add him. Zia Yusuf.
Oh, God. Live. Jesus. Let's do our own research. Come on.
7 years younger than me. How is he set? He looks about 90.
Hampton School, a fee-paying boys-only independent school in southwest London.
There you go. That's nice, isn't it, for some? So I will add Zia Yusuf to the private school mafia list. Where does he come? So he'll come after Zara Dawson, before Zoe Grunwald. Yeah. What do I say about him? What's his job?
He's
refucker.
He has some sort of job at Reform UK, but I don't even think Reform UK know what they do.
Is he the chair?
Is he chief racist apologiser for Nigel Farage? Isn't that his job?
He was chair, and then he's not, and now he's spokesman for Home Affairs. So he's going to be the Home Secretary if they ever get into power.
Yeah, apparently
he described himself. He described himself on the Laura Kuenssberg flirtation this morning as a politician.
Ooh.
which I thought was interesting because he's never fucking stood for Parliament, basically.
Well, you
I know him and
I don't like that
Jenrick
guy.
aren't getting on well.
I really,
apparently.
really do not trust that guy at all, basically. I think the whole resignation story last year, I think if we're going to start looking into where money got into the party, I think there's got to be a story attached to him somehow.
Yes.
Because
There's
he
all
resigned
sorts
as a matter of
things.
principle and then within a week was back in office, basically. That's money somewhere along the line.
I just can't believe he wasn't already on my list. That's terrible.
He's just on every single show now. Every single show.
Yeah, because he's a token, isn't he? He
Yeah.
gives them the excuse to say, "Oh, I'm not racist because we've got someone who's."
Some of my best
course.
friends are brown.
Of course, this has been playing really badly with a lot of the blokes who've gone over to Restore, who really do find it objectionable that Reform are platforming a non-white person. So, it's to an extent, like, it is happening. They are sort of rejecting that. It's just, it takes time for people to start making, sort of drawing a conclusion from that, I think.
Yeah. I will be interested to see now whether how much Farage starts to panic about Rupert Lowe and Restore, because I don't know if you saw that everyone's favorite 19-year-old who runs Warwickshire County Council actually came out and had a go at Restore, saying that they'll deport everyone who has brown skin. And I'm like,
welcome to the wokerati.
Does he realize what party is it?
Have you seen your voters, for fuck's sake?
Have you met yourself, George?
That will be the destruction of Refuck, because Musk is throwing all of his money into the racist Restore Party, and I think that's the impact that's going to be interesting.
How would they feel if there was the richest man in the world was a big lefty and he was given shitloads of money to Labour? Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine how they will be going out of their fucking minds, and yet you're the richest man in the world here, giving his money to
it's all right because he's a racist. He's not trying to, he's not trying to put pragmatic, progressive policies forward.
That gobshite Christopher Holborn, the Thai guy, he's given another 3 million to Refuck in the last couple of months, hasn't he? So that brings the total that he's given him, he's given to Refuck and to Nigel Farage to £30 million.
What the hell is he spending it on?
Flying, leafleting.
Apparently, he bought a new house at one point, and the new revelation has come out very recently. So it didn't all go into security.
So 1.4 million. Farage spent 1.4 million on that new house. There's another house that he's got. He spent £800,000 on refurbishing his Kent Beach house. Yeah. Someone pointed out maybe we should start putting the refugees in his many empty houses because he can't live in all of them at once, eh?
Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing, isn't it, when you look at Nigel Farage and the number of houses he owns?
It's a weird thing when you look at Nigel Farage, full stop.
It's kind of like those American gun owners who've got like 64 assault rifles in a cupboard somewhere, and it's like, do you have 64 pairs of hands? How are you going to use all that heavy metal? Like, maybe.
And also, he was claiming to be broke.
Yeah,
like 10 years ago, he was saying politics had broken him, basically.
And then, of course, he's
always broke.
And of course, he banks at is it Coots?
Yep,
the
bank account.
Yeah, which you have to have like a big pile of dosh to be able to bank there.
But I think that in a sense, like
Prince Andrew banks with Coots as well.
A lot of rich guys.
I'm just saying,
hold their wealth
do your
that
research.
Way. I mean, Nigel Farage is a big spender, but in a weird sense, he's the rich boy's sort of hand-to-mouth kind of operator. Yeah. Like, he's taking in donations and constantly pleading poverty as he goes. I think that
I think it's very much like Andrew. That's the same thing. Andrew Windsor is the living with the rich boys but hasn't got the money.
Yeah,
and I think that's the same story with Farage. That's what makes them susceptible to bribery, because it doesn't take much money. 5 million feels like a huge amount of money, but it's not a lot of money in terms of global bribing.
For their lifestyle, it's great. You saw Nigel Farage this week at Prime Minister's Questions getting booed by the entire House. Everyone was like shouting shame at him for what he came out with. And then a few hours later, it was photographed. It was on the front cover of the Mirror newspaper this week. Photograph coming out of a gentleman's club in London, where he'd been having some drinks. An exclusive gentleman's club. Robert Kenyon, if he gets elected in the Makerfield, he wouldn't be allowed to go in to that club with Nigel Farage because he's not posh enough. He'd have to go in like wearing a dog collar on a lead, on his hands and knees, and then they might just about let this working class salt of the soil.
I've been to that club in Soho.
I know you have.
Oh, sorry.
Dirty bastard. Anyway, Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 50 Swedish krona. The Sweden Democrats were founded by neo-Nazis and old SS volunteers in the late 80s. They have at least they have at least had a Jewish MP who got convicted of assault. Yeah, well, that's what the Nazis did, isn't it? It was the German Workers' and Socialist Party, wasn't it? That's what the Nazi stood for. The Z in Nazi stood for socialism. And it's like, yeah, you're really socialist? Nah, we're just saying that to get the vote.
Look, I'll just to get the dig in on our Barnsley guy. It's just a Buddhist face. It's just a Buddhist face.
So this is the tattoo that someone had that was a swastika. But isn't there like a Democrat politician in America who's got
40 years? It was just a Buddhist phase he was going through.
No, but isn't there an American politician who's been done for this as well, who's turned out that he's got a swastika tattoo?
Was that Hegseth?
No. I think it was a Democrat. I
thought Hegseth
he's got a Crusaders cross.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one he's got.
Crusader.
Which is
and speaking of Hegseth, Jesus Christ, did you see his D-Day speech?
No.
Oh dear. Meant to be, an anniversary event, commemorating D-Day, basically turned into a pitch for, aren't you all woke in Europe? Basically doing what JD Vance did in the NATO summit back at the start of Trump's term.
Yeah.
And that's something else to keep an eye on. They are starting to fight now about Trump's legacy. Apparently, Vance and Rubio are at each other's throats behind the scenes. So that could be something very interesting to keep an eye on if that starts blowing up.
Yeah, this Democrat is called Graham Plattner, and he's a Maine Senate candidate. It's in the state of Maine, not as in he's the main one. But he apparently he's got a swastika tattoo. Previous girlfriend for more than a decade ago, a conservative from Virginia who worked for the Heritage Foundation, amongst other groups, said that Plattner knew that a controversial skull and bones tattoo he had was a Nazi symbol. It's that the are we the bad guys skull and crossbones? He's got that as a tattoo.
Yeah, look, it's just a Buddhist phase he was going through at the time.
My totem cough.
The skull and crossbones thing that he's got he was just going through a harmless little death cult at the time. There's nothing to see or worry about here. It's all good. It's just into some very edgy metal music. Please don't ask any hard questions about what kind of metal.
40 years.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Excuses are worse than the actual offence, and that's the thing that's going to do for them in the end. They can't get their stories straight. They can't get their excuses right. It's just.
But this guy's a Democrat. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't even someone who's joining. If he was on the fash side, they wouldn't care. They'd be like, "Oh, great, he's got a tattoo. He's got a Nazi tattoo." He claimed he didn't know what it meant until last year. He just thought it was a fun little skull and crossbones, like on a pirate flag, I guess.
Yeah, it was just a pirate phase he was going through, guys.
Yeah,
it was just really into piracy.
Yeah. The swastika the Buddhists use as the mirror of that one. Yes, it is. And do you know what? They tend not to use it so much these days because of the connotations with the Nazis. They kind of ruined it for everyone. Christians are forbidden from having tattoos and cheeseburgers. I wonder if they've read their own magic book, says Andy. Well, no, they're not. They're not because they rewrote it all, didn't they, with the New Testament? There's a line in the New Testament where Jesus basically says, "How could anything that God created be unclean? Therefore, He branded all animals clean, and therefore you could eat any animal." So that's why Christians can have a bacon butty, whereas Jews can't. But yes, technically speaking, Jews cannot have hamburgers because it has got milk and meat together, which you're not allowed to mix, and they can't get tattoos because it says "Do not mark your skin." In the same part of the Bible that says "Don't wear clothes woven in 2 types of material," and don't spread different seeds in your field.
One of my favourite stories on that, I can't remember. It's a bishop from the northeast of England in the 1400s declared that seagulls were fish, so you could eat them on Saturdays.
Yes, they did that in Brazil with beavers. I think it was beavers or otters or something. Beavers, I think.
This wouldn't have been a very, very early attempt to control the seagull population in the local town, would it?
I mean, it would have been a good idea, to be honest.
I mean, I can feel that there are bound to be some local authorities somewhere just sort of like, can we do that?
Yeah.
The one thing I don't miss with my move is the noise of seagulls constantly. Everybody says, "Oh, it's lovely in Brighton with the sound of seagulls."
No,
not
horrible.
really.
No, it's nice.
Not when you live with them. It's not.
Historically, the Catholic
pleasant.
Church has officially classified beavers as fish for dietary reasons. In the 17th century, the Bishop of Quebec petitioned the Vatican to allow the consumption of beaver on Fridays and during Lent, as the semi-aquatic rodent's scaly tail led theologians to categorize it as water-based meatless food. And this historical loophole was designed to accommodate the realities of life in North America, ensuring that English settlers could also eat muskrats, capybaras, alligators, puffins, and barnacle geese. All fish, according to the Catholic Church. Because you weren't allowed to eat meat on a Friday, you had to eat fish on a Friday.
And Reverend Kathy says hippos as well.
You're going to eat hippos on a Friday if you're brave enough.
If you're brave enough.
And Andy says theologians, the Pokemon masters of the 15th century.
Can you eat Pokemon on a Friday?
Oh, yeah. Have a bit of a Pikachu sandwich. Always good. Evie spaghetti. Yeah, eat beaver, church approves, says Sfax. And Sarah says, Mike, you swapped seagulls for sheep? What?
Seagulls for sheep.
Did you?
Yeah, no, that's true. There are sheep around here instead of... Not in the garden.
Do they bar at you when you're trying to get to sleep?
They do, but there's a terrible joke there, but it's probably best if we've got anyone from Wales in the room. No, we don't. Okay, so... I won't tell that joke. I'm just revising my Bernard Matthews joke book.
Are you going to tell some sheep shagging jokes?
Bernard Manning.
Are you going to tell some sheep shagging jokes?
No, I wasn't going to do that. Well, get your mind out the gutter, Graham.
I'm sure you were. You did mention Wales. You can tell them about Yorkshire because we've got a Yorkshireman here. Dramatic zoom on Mike. Dramatic zoom. Tell us the Yorkshireman shagging sheep jokes, Mike.
There is nothing funny about Yorkshire. Nothing funny.
Look, I'll have you know, we put the occasional ferret down our trousers, but that's about as fun as it gets.
I'll have you know that Ollie isn't the only Yorkshireman in the room, despite how my accent might sound. So a bit of respect for the Northerners, please.
Yeah. Another good show that's come on TV now is Hoppers, which is the new Pixar Disney movie. Very good. It's very funny, very, very silly, incredibly very silly. And there's a great bit where they go, is this a bit like Avatar? And they go, no, it's nothing like Avatar. It's a lot like Avatar. Except they go into animals. They take over animals rather than taking over. I don't know, what they called the Navi? The Navi on Pandora?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone see Fire and Ice or whatever it was called? Fire and Ash, the last one of the...
I've not seen any of them.
Really?
I saw the first one in IMAX.
I saw the first one in 3D.
The spectacle, and as a spectacle, it's great to watch. But the
we
story was
had,
a bit, unobtainium.
A
bit on the nose.
I almost got funding. I almost got funding from a company in Soho that for a TV show we were making 20 years ago. And we lost that funding to Avatar. So I just refused to watch it. That was my thing, and that's why it flopped.
Yeah,
that's why it was a major disaster because I didn't go.
Did you see my vault of horror ideas that were written in an old diary of mine that I found this afternoon? So what you don't do, you take old movies and you remake them as a horror movie. So these are the ones I had. I had Slaying in the Rain, Citizen Mame, It Happened One Nightmare, Death Fest at Tiffany's. I like that one. The Little Murder Maid, It's a Wonderful Death, Groundhog Slay, and A Midsummer Night's Scream. I reckon if I made all those movies, I'd make so much money. It's silly.
Isn't the original A Midsummer Night's Murder? What am I thinking of?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, okay.
Shakespeare. Shakespeare. Oh my God.
I know, but there aren't. Wasn't there a show about Midsummer Murders? Wasn't there such a show?
What, called the Midsummer Night's
Remind
Murder?
me what county you represent, Edward. Just aren't you on the edge of Shakespeare country?
I am on the edge of. I understand the Shakespeare reference. But I was thinking like this has already been done.
Just saying.
I'm saying I think this has already been done in some form.
I know they did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which I approve of.
Turning all of Shakespeare's
what's the other one? Was it Sense and Sea Monsters or something like that?
Yeah.
Half of Shakespeare is a horror movie to start with. Have you read that play?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
Titus Andronicus. That's fucked up. That play.
I'm not saying
the Saw of its day. That's like.
Oh, you mean Macbeth?
He was kind of making horror movies, wasn't he? Really, and historical dramas and horror movies.
Play.
That's what he did. Really,
Scottish play. Yeah. Groundhog Day sounds vivid. Yeah, thanks, MZ. I'd pay money to see something called The Little Murder Maid, and it's got a poster of a little mermaid with a knife and covered in blood like this.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially after the live action one.
It would be like a cross between Jaws and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. If the Little Mermaid got revenge,
and she
basically,
because in the Little Mermaid,
Twitter.
she keeps all the little souvenirs that she's found from the human world. Okay, that's such a serial killer thing to do. So she takes the souvenirs from all her kills, which would be really good.
You know what would be good at a good like spoof movie? You just spoof the Melina movie.
Yeah, but the problem is Ollie. Yeah, that's what I mean. No one's seen it, so no one will get the joke.
Well, this is it. You could just do whatever you wanted. Just go, Melina.
Well, I said this. We should do a spoof of Pretty Woman called Shitty Woman, and it's about a prostitute from Eastern Europe, who comes over to America, and she's trafficked by the world's most famous paedophile, and she's bought by Donald Trump. I mean the president. I mean someone who went on to be the president. So it's the story of Melania, but told from a slightly different point of view.
I watched Groundhog Day the other day, over and over again.
Ned Ryerson.
But it's not very woke, is it?
No.
Like I had fond memories of this film, and then I go back and watch it and go, okay, this is wrong.
Like
so many ways, basically. This is a pretty terrible film when you think about it.
Because it's very manipulative.
Yeah, because it's basically he's gaslighting everybody and talking a woman into bed by practicing over and over again how to do it. It's kind of
I don't know. I think this sounds
wrong.
very current. I mean, it sounds very current. I mean, we've got an entire legion of male influencers talking about manipulating people and optimizing their strategies for dating women and tricking them into believing that they're halfway decent people when they aren't. And similarly, we've also got a massive internet culture that's built around the idea that you can just fake the identity that you want, or just keep, pushing buttons in a certain order to get the outcome that you want. Now, I think Groundhog Day is it's a pretty good takedown of internet culture that followed about 50 years later.
Can I just say that there's a guy who does this thing called Diary of a CEO. He used to be on Dragon's Den. Stephen Cuntcalf or whatever his name is.
No,
anyway, he's a fucking bellend. Anyway, he does this like well listened to show. He's kind of like the Joe Rogan of Britain. So he has dickheads on his show going, I think aliens built the pyramids, and you're like, oh god, here we go. Anyway, so this week he did an episode where he talked about having 2 glasses of wine, and it put him off his stride for 3 days. He didn't go to the gym, didn't get out of bed, didn't go around the night stalking women. I don't know what he does, but like he couldn't do any of his normal shit because he had 2 glasses of wine. And you're watching this going, what? So first of all, like, who lives a regimented life like that? That is so regimented. That's that whole thing of like, you can't have any downtime. Every moment of your waking life has got to be doing something, or you're not worthy. But also, like, just what a lightweight. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you're going to have a manosphere-esque I know it's not really the manosphere, but it's kind of skirting on the outside of it.
Well, that's
I mean-
what Jordan Peterson did as well. Like, he apparently had like a glass of cider. Don't know how much, just a glass of cider,
Yeah.
and that sent him like out for like months. And you're like,
Can I just say that I did a 65.5-hour live stream, and then at the end of it,
You did?
got to sleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was up for 8 o'clock. Not only did I start a show in the morning on the morning brew at nearly the normal time, I also made like the blurb and did a thumbnail for it as well, and tidied everything up because my entire desk was just covered in like biscuit wrappers and what are they called, pistachio nut shells and all that kind of shit. So I had to tidy everything up, do the dishes, start the show.
I'm not going to compete with you on the heavyweight ability to withstand whatever, Graham. I need to probably get going in a moment.
Okay,
So
no worries, Ed.
Your role as the undisputed champion of keeping going despite everything is just
like
it's
a
safe.
Duracell
Okay?
bunny, mate.
Yeah.
You-
It's good to see you all, guys.
No, great to have you on the show,
Thank you,
Ed.
Ed.
See you as
And
well,
thanks
yeah.
for giving us a
See you
report from Makerfield. You take care, all
My
right?
pleasure. Take care.
see ya,
Bye.
bye.
Good luck. Yeah, I'm thinking of going over to Makerfield. It'd be fun. Should we go and knock on some doors, Mike, in Makerfield?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I got asked to actually. I was
Did you?
thinking about going up and
I don't think
doing
I
it.
got
Do a
asked to.
live from Makerfield.
We
do
should
a live
do a
from
live
Makerfield. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Andy on.
Yeah,
Our
we
mate
should do that.
Andy.
What have we
Maggie
got?
Pie.
The by-election's this Thursday, isn't it? Or is
No,
it the
next
Thursday
Thursday.
after?
Week on Thursday.
Yeah,
Week on
18th.
Thursday.
The 18th.
Good. Yeah, we could do that. I might do that.
And then on Saturday, Saturday the 20th, we've got the Rejoin EU March. I've put the link into the chat for the Rejoin EU petition. That one's out at midnight tonight, so get some more names on that if you're not already signed it. But yeah, the march starts at 12 o'clock. Park Road, Park Lane even. Just go to Hyde Park, you'll see us. And and then we'll be marching around. I think we're going over a bridge this time. I think our marching route is taking us over a bridge, which is very exciting.
Nice.
I don't think we've done that before marching. We've done that in a big Brexit, anti-Brexit bus. Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. Horror remake of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That'd be right for a horror film because it starts raining meatballs because he affects the weather to make food. But then if you think about it, maybe it could be like cans of beans like fall from the sky and like smack people in the face and half the face is all like, it's all blood and what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Like it's raining men. Oh my God, no, it's actually raining men. There's men like splatting down on the ground and all the innards flying everywhere. And
Or you could just lean into it and just go, it's raining meatballs.
Raining
It's
meatballs.
like just these big slabs of meat coming down and hitting people.
Horror remake of Snow White. I think someone's already done that, but yeah, Snow White's pretty.
There's
pretty
one of
They
Winnie
have
the
actually,
Pooh out
yeah.
there somewhere.
There is.
Yes,
Blood
there
and
is.
Blood and Honey. Horror remake of The Lady Killers. Yeah, actually, Eric, that could work. It would have to be a comedy horror, but the setup of The Lady Killers is simply that these guys trying to rob a
do a
bank.
remake.
They did do a remake. It was
of The Lady
terrible.
Tom
Killers.
Hanks, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, one of the worst remakes ever. The Coen brothers for some reason. But yeah, in the original Lady Killers, they're pretending to be an orchestra rehearsing at this woman's house, and she lives next door to the bank that they're breaking into or whatever. And then she discovers, what they're up to, and they're like, we're gonna have to kill her. And then because she's such a sweet old lady, no one actually wants to kill her, and all of the gang end up killing each other instead of actually killing the old lady because they can't bring themselves to do it. Because she's so sweet and she brings them up a cup of tea with some biscuits. So that'd be a lesson to you whenever you're hanging out with hardened gangsters led by Alec Guinness. Make them some nice cup of tea. Make them a nice cup of tea. Horror remake of Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, that's a pretty horrific movie, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Like he breaks several laws in that. I mean, some of these movies you could argue are horror films anyway.
Kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, the original Little Mermaid, she's gonna kill the prince and his new wife on their first night together. That's the plan. She turns up with a knife. She's gonna do it, and then she chickens out at the last minute.
I mean, most Disney films are based on grim fairy tales that were pretty much horror stories for kids anyway, weren't they?
Yeah. Morality tales like don't go into the forest at night or you'll die.
Yeah.
You'll be eaten by a witch. You'll be put in a big oven.
Horror remake of Coronation Street.
Oh, it was Roy all along. It was Roy in the library with the candlestick. Flesh-eating screwworms lurking in those bloody meatballs. Well, yeah, the screwworms back in America, in the USA. So they've got measles back now. They've got rickets. They've got scurvy, and now they've got screwworms are back.
Oh, we do need a remake of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That would be fun.
That was good. They made a cartoon of that, didn't they?
Yeah.
There was an 80s cartoon. Talking of 80s cartoon.
They did a lot of that in the 80s. Like, there was a cartoon version of RoboCop.
Was there?
Just like, yeah, there was I don't know why. There was a cartoon of Rambo as well.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Well, the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe new movies come out, but it's not been well received, unfortunately. It's just not camp enough.
I don't know whether I want to go see that or not. I want to go see it just because of Jared Leto's playing Skeletor, and it's either going to be
awful,
but it's going to be so bad it'll be good. it'll transcend the awfulness.
I think they should have got, they should have made it thinking like the Barbie movie. That's what they should have done. They could have done a biting social commentary about the manosphere and about muscly men.
They do though, don't they? I've seen a clip where he's working in HR or something, and he's got his pronouns on his.
Yeah, because it's He-Man, isn't it? And then everyone complained about the fact that they put his pronouns on it.
Yeah.
I've seen a clip from Tiptoe, the new Russell T Davies drama, where he's talking about pronouns. He's saying, but all our lives you were like, oh, what are you? Are you a man or a woman? What are you? What should I call you? What are you? And so he said, okay, well, to make it easy for you dickheads, I'll wear a badge that says he, him, or she, her, or they, them. And then, no, not like that. And everyone fucking kicked off about people doing that, which is just bonkers bananas. But there you go. Evil Lego movie. Could Cares ever be remade? Yeah, probably.
Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas the Tank Engine is a horror movie. That's a good one. I like that idea.
Yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Ever seen in the original books, like Gordon or somebody? I can't remember. I think it was Gordon refused to pull a freight truck, so they buried him alive in a tunnel.
That was pretty horrific when you think about it.
I think it was Percy.
Was it Percy? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Percy. Buried alive, tunnel. But no, it's in the animated TV show. They actually do it.
Yeah,
they bury him alive in the tunnel because he didn't want to go out in the rain because he had a new. No, it was Henry. You're right. It's Henry. It's not Percy.
Yeah, I thought it was one. It was one of the express trains refused to do something.
Yeah, he wouldn't go out in the rain because he just got a new paint job and he didn't want to ruin his paint job. So they put him in a tunnel and bricked the tunnel up, but not all the way. They just bricked it up so you could just see his eyes poking out above the tunnel, so he could look out at the rest of the world and all the other trains going past.
It's a horror movie in the making.
Yeah. He was walled up inside a tunnel for refusing to do his job.
Now that actually is a good one. Phil Nelson, that's a good Time Team uncovers demonic gateway to hell. Tony Robinson, armed with nothing but his wit, trowel and faithful psychic, engage in the hordes of hell in a battle to the end of battles. That would be great.
That would be very good.
That would be good. Tony Robinson would be up for something like that.
Twilight as an actual horror film. Well, it'd be quite short, wouldn't it? It'd be like this guy turns up at the school and just eats the woman he likes. There'd be no chess playing. There was any kind of sunlight hitting them, they wouldn't go all like diamondy and shiny. They'll just fucking die like vampires are meant to do when you shine light on them. Let's have a look. I wonder if they'll ever make a Thundercats movie. That could be good.
Probably.
I thought I read a rumor there was. I thought I read a rumor.
They did a remake in like 2012, I think, of it.
Yeah, apparently He-Man is just, I think they missed a trick there. They could have made it as big as Barbie if they'd just gone whole hog in the whole satire. Because Barbie's a really good film. It's a very, very satirical film. Makes a very good point. And they could have just gone after all of the... do you know Trump posted a picture of himself with like a muscle-bound six-pack man with little trunks on, and behind him were other men, like, going like this,
cheering him on. Yeah,
like all oiled up, all greased up with the
he does have
pecs and everything.
He very often says, look at that beautiful guy. He's beautiful,
Yeah.
isn't he? What an amazing guy."
He went on about some
Just
golfer's cock for a long time, didn't he? Remember that
Yeah.
golfer? He had a great cock. Oh. Henry's not trapped forever, though. In the very next episode, Gordon bursts his safety valve while pulling a heavy express train with no other big engines available to pull the train. The Fat Controller offers to let Henry out if he promises to be a really useful engine.
resurrects Henry,
Resurrects
digs up Henry's corpse and gets him to pull a train at night.
Slavery, and if they don't do what they're told, they get buried alive.
Yeah,
there you go. Mike, did you see that they're issuing a Trumpton 50 pence for the Ballywicked Guernsey?
I have ordered one.
Have you?
Sweet. After you posted it in the group. Yeah.
Hey.
It's a Windy Miller, so it's not really Trumpton. It's Camberwick Green.
Green.
What was the verse? It was Trumpton, Camberwick Green, and there was another one. Chigley. That was it.
But we don't talk about Chigley. Those fuckers from the city.
Let's do a song called "We Don't Talk About You." Let's do a Trumpton-based horror movie where they all go fucking crazy.
I think you could do something with that, because
he's got like people crucified on the blades of on the sails of his windmill, and they're going around going, "Ah!" and they go around again. "Ah!"
Yeah.
I think it would be really easy to do a really strange spoof of Trumpton, because no one speaks. Well, people do speak in it, but you could easily dub over it and just use the footage.
No, they don't speak. It's all Brian Kemp does all the voices.
Yeah.
It's all narrated. Yeah, so you could
easily just do that and just do
That's actually what I started with when I first started the Trumpton account 12, 13 years ago. I was just redubbing episodes. There's a couple out there. I'll try and find a link, basically. But we did them for the Huffington Post.
Oh wow!
Just after the account took off, and I got all this sort of publicity because Nigel Farage hated it. The Huffington Post paid us to make a couple of Trumpton episodes.
Oh, fabulous! That's really cool.
Yeah, well, we just lifted all the old content and turned the mayor into a racist, basically. It was fairly straightforward.
Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. That is very kind of you, which allows me to do this. 3, 2, 1, Consteppe again! Yay! Maggie Pie wants us to make a horror remake of Tom and Jerry. What do you reckon? What do you reckon of that? I think Tom and Jerry's pretty fucking horrific. I mean, kids getting thrown in the oven.
If you did a live action version, it would definitely be...
Dragarth says, "Oh my god, a Mr. Ben horror film. You never know who the killer is because he keeps changing costumes."
Yeah.
Andy Thompson, £5 super chat. Thank you very much for Flay School. Who's going to go head first through the round window? Little Ted goes postal. Flay School. I love it. What else have we got? Why are you dissing Chigley? We want to know what's wrong with Chigley. What's wrong with Chigley, Mike?
No, fucking city folk. We don't like them, mate.
Fair enough. So is Camberwick Green in Trumpton, which is
there's a biscuit factory in Chigley, and they oppress their workers. So we're just not into Chigley.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But yeah, I'll go with that. But yeah, I think we need to have a look at some old stuff and
I've just put a link to the Huffington Post video we did.
I saw that. I'm gonna have to watch that now. How long does it go on for?
I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes.
About 3 minutes.
Your ADHD will cope.
Here we are.
Here is the clock, telling the time.
Nope.
And here's Mr. Mayor. He's a cunt. He's a racist cunt. No black people in Trumpton, is there?
Nope.
No.
There was an ice cream man called Tony, and they called out the fire brigade to get rid of him.
Is that in the original series, or did you do that?
This ice cream man called Tony, stereotypical Italian ice cream man, turns up on the village square, and he takes over the spot where the flower cellar normally operates, and everyone gets really upset.
Yeah.
So they get the fire brigade to remove him. It all ends up nicely, and they end up dancing on the bandstand. It's fine.
There's an inside number 9 where a teacher goes to a weird school and ends up being strapped to a chair and sacrificed. Can't remember the title. Help. Ooh, well, that's kind of like near my idea for class war, which is a similar idea of a Ofsted inspector going to a school that's 1400 years old and has never had an Ofsted inspection, and they do things their own way. So it's going to be like a daylight horror, like Midsummer or the Wicker Man.
Horror version of Mork and Mindy. I like that.
Mork and Mindy.
I do a horror version of pretty much anything. That would be quite fun, I think. In the Night Garden, live action horror. Could do that. Windy Miller got shit-faced on cider in the first episode, then drives his delivery van into town. He does. That's very true.
Mr. Ben. See, Mr. Ben, the horror movie, that would be worth it. Guy keeps going to a fancy dress shop, pretending to be somebody else, living their life for a bit.
Yeah.
Now, the shopkeeper, who we never know anything
it's a
about.
Psychopath movie. Yeah, the shopkeeper. He's weird.
It just appears.
Do you know what? Like,
is he real? Is he not?
Eric Davison's got a good suggestion. Instead of turning nice things into horror movies, how about we do it the other way around? Horror movies turned into nice films.
Well, I've seen someone's like re-edited the Shining into a trailer that makes it look like it's a family comedy. It's all about getting to know your son, and getting away from it all, and that's quite nice. And they use like Salisbury Hill as the music for it. I don't know. I think that I think it'd be easier to just make it as something that isn't a horror into a horror, like Winnie the Pooh, but do it well.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, about a group of teenagers actually having a nice time at summer camp and discovering themselves. Yeah. Coming of age tale.
Mary Mungo and Midge. God, I used to love that show. Ollie's definitely not old enough to know anything about Mary Mungo.
I don't know anything about Mary Mungo and Midge.
Mary Mungo and Midge was the story of a girl who lived with a dog and a mouse in a block of flats in a town, and she had a single mum. And it was a very 1970s council estate story, basically.
Oh, sweet. That's nice.
Well, you only know that when you go and look back at it. At the time, when I was a kid, I just thought that's how people lived. But it actually sort of explained urban living in the city much better than any other kids program.
Andy's made a good point. He says, wasn't Quantum Leap just Mr. Ben? Yeah?
Kind of was.
Well, yeah.
Pretty much was,
The shopkeeper was, what was the name
Ziggy.
of his...
Oh no, Ziggy was
the
like
computer,
the computer,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was the name of the guy?
Al.
Yeah.
That did they remake Quantum Leap? I'm sure they remade
Yes,
it.
They did, and it was a
did new
disaster.
series.
It was
And
awful.
they could have got Scott Bakula involved and had it that he's still been bouncing around for years and years on his own. He's gone mad or something, and someone else has got to go back in time to get him.
But he was in Star Trek at the time, wasn't he?
No. This was only a few years ago. This is like 3 years ago. Something they made a new season of Quantum Leap, but it was a completely different group of people. And Scott Bakula said no one got in touch with me about it, so fuck him.
Look, I'm very pleased to see that a large
Shortland
chunk of our
Louise.
audience is the same age as me and remember Mary Mungo and Midge.
You already know what Brian Cant's nickname was in school, says Andy. Chorlton and the Wheelies. Do you remember Chorlton and the Wheelies?
Yeah.
It was Chorlton, wasn't it? Not Charlton.
It was Charlton, I thought.
I thought it was Chorlton, like the place in Manchester. Because it was Cosgrove Hall, wasn't it, who made it, along with DM, the Danger Mouse, and Count Duckula, which is one of the best cartoons of all time, Count Duckula. Their first episode was called No Sax, Please, We're Egyptian. It's the best name for a kid's TV episode ever. Journeyman TV show was a lot like Quantum Leap. Diz remembers Mary Mungo and Midge. Do you remember Pop? Does anyone remember Pop?
Yes. That was an Italian show.
Was it?
Originally.
He used to spit all over the camera, and then he'll wipe his name. He'll write his name in it.
There was also one called...
Didn't half look like Michael Gove?
Yeah. Yeah, well, my Michael Gove character is basically Pob in a suit.
Pete saying Chorlton. It was Chorlton, the wheelie. It was Chorlton, bloody autocorrect. Do you know what this means? I was right. I was right. Everything I say is right. Sorry.
Okay. Well, glad to see you're open-minded.
Jamie and his
anyway,
magic torch.
On that note, I'm going to get off as well.
We're going to get off in a minute as
tomorrow.
well. Do not worry because it's coming up to 10 o'clock. So we will bugger
It's the
off.
witching hour.
Ollie, will you be around on Tuesday by any chance? My
I
friend?
will be around on Tuesday.
Are we going to do an episode of Geoscope or are we going to do Refuck Watch?
We'll see how much stuff happens between now and Tuesday.
How much refuckery happens between now and Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right.
But there's I think there's still plenty of. We could do a 50-50 episode. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we can start talking about refuck and then we can start talking about the rest of the world. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
We haven't got that much time. There's so much going on, Ollie. So much going on.
I shall see you on Tuesday then.
Sweet dreams, my friend. Take care.
Cheers,
Bye.
Ollie. Nice to see you, man.
Bye. Oh, he's a lovely Yorkshire lad.
He is.
He's from Yorkshire. They have it hard in Yorkshire, you know. They get up before they're born and then they have to go work down mill for threepence halfpenny.
I don't know. how
They
he
pay
gets the
mill
time.
owner for the privilege to work.
He does all that streaming and he's a coal miner. It's
He
amazing.
comes home,
It's
he gets
incredible.
beaten to death by his dad, he gets buried, dug up, made to make dinner, which is just a lump of rock, a warm lump. You were lucky to have a warm lump of
Lump
rock.
of rock. You had it warm.
We had a cold lump of rock.
You were lucky to have a cold lump.
Hector's house probably had a lot of bodies buried in the garden. Do you remember Hector's house? I don't remember that.
Yeah, definitely.
Pob was the same people who made that Teletubbies and in the
Finger Bobs. A bearded, bald man sits at a desk and sticks his finger up a mouse's arse. I mean, come on. That is a horror movie.
We had Finger Mouse. Finger of a mouse. Could do that.
We're back to the rabbit jokes, aren't we now? It's time to end.
Oh, I was going to hope to get another 5 super chats in very, very quickly at the end, and then we could do a Boba Fetty. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, Mike.
No.
Which is very sad. But if anyone's got any other good ideas, we've had some good ideas in the chat tonight. Loads of funny stuff in the chat. I love our socialites.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're
There you go.
decent.
Fast and the Furious remake with the Teletubbies, says Maggie Pie. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. That's what he wants.
Teletubbies. That's a horror movie, definitely.
The Teletubbies is terrifying. I thought Button Moon was scary when I was a kid. And I never knew why. And then I watched an episode on YouTube years later and I realised it was the use of the theremin in the theme tune.
Right. The Doctor Who machine.
Woo,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
off to Button Moon. Woo. And
There you
that
go.
sound of the theremin just scared the shit out of me as a kid.
My eldest used to watch Rosie and Jim. Do you remember Rosie and Jim?
Yeah, that was terrifying as well. They had like dead eyes. Didn't have
It was
buttons
basically
for
an-
eyes.
An old man on a barge with 2 stuffed puppets, and
Yes.
he used to invite kids onto his barge to come and play with his puppet children.
Yeah. What about Captain Birdseye, mate? He was away for months at sea with a crew full of children, and he was the only grown adult on board.
Yeah.
Something wrong there,
He's
mate.
the-
Something wrong there.
You should never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Absolutely, it's all gone horribly wrong. Moomin says Ryan, yeah, they scared the shit out of me. What were they called? The Hattie
Moomin.
Fatteners. The Hattie Fatteners, I think they were
Yeah.
called, which was just basically electrical poles or something. And everyone was really sad. There was like this layer of melancholy over the Moomins. It was like,
Yeah, well, there was when they Swedish. Was it
Finnish.
Swedish? The Moomins?
Finnish.
Finnish.
I
Oh
think they were
god, well that
created by a
explains
Finnish lesbian.
that totally explains why they were depressed all the time or
It's a little
drunk.
bit sad, and then something bad would happen, and they'd go, "Oh well," you know. They wouldn't like freak out and go, "Oh shit," you know. Moomin Papa's burnt to death. They just go,
Oh,
well.
no. Yeah.
"Oh no," and then they'll go on and do
Oh,
something
dear.
else. Clangers, says Richard. Well, the Clangers and Button Moon was fucked up because you had this guy, Mr. Spoon, went to Button Moon, and when he got to Button Moon, instead of like investigating shit going on the moon, right? He got his telescope out and he spied on a little girl in their back garden from the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are no good
Yeah.
kids programs. They're all terrible.
They're all terrible. What are you doing there, Mr. Spoon? Oh, I'm just watching the little girl. She's playing with her toys. Why are you watching her from the moon? That's weird. That is objectively a weird thing to do, Mr. Spoon, you massive pedo.
Yeah. Yeah.
My ex-boss was German. We showed him bag puss and he said, "No worry, no wonder
You guys are
no wonder you
fucked up."
guys are so fucked up."
Yeah.
Rainbow made me feel uneasy as a kid. As an
Yeah,
adult, I know
Rainbow,
why I didn't.
weird.
Ow, ow,
Totally
ow, ow,
weird
ow.
house share situation going on.
George, tell Bungle I'm going to get my knob pierced. Jeffrey. And he had like a gimp mask.
Why do you live with two talking animals, Jeffrey?
Why the fuck does Bungle only put fucking pants on when he's going to bed?
What was the name of the band? Jane and Freddie.
Rod, Jane and Freddie.
Rod, Jane and Freddie. Yeah, they just lived in the kitchen.
Yeah, they did.
It's like, it was a very weird house shit going on.
Russ says rhubarb and custard, which everyone remembers. Andy, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, my friend. IKEA, no one escapes. I like it. These people get stuck in IKEA for months and they all start eating each other. Like cannibalize each other in the IKEA. They can't find the fucking exit.
Once the meatballs run out, basically.
When the meatballs run out, the screaming begins. We can have a lot of fun with this. Henry's cat. Arthur Lowe, Mr. Men. Does Arthur Lowe do the Mr. Men cartoon?
He did the voice for them, yeah.
Oh, okay. Rod, Jane, and Freddie
Krueger. I know a song about that. Brilliant. I'm liking it.
Oh, loving it. The public service films with Charlie the cat. Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go somewhere. Didn't the Prodigy use that as part of their songs? Back in the day, was it the Proj? Yeah. What about Emu? He had a rod up his arse. That is very true, Sarah. He fell off the. He was adjusting the TV aerial, wasn't he? And he fell off the roof. Rod Hull.
He did.
Yeah, it was very sad at his funeral, but it was a great reception.
Squeaky tank, maybe.
What?
I don't know.
Come on, too soon. Come on, he's been dead like 30 years or something.
I always thought at the time he was probably up there trying to adjust the aerial and he had Emu on, and that was the problem.
He tried to grab, before he fell off, he tried to grab, but it was just Emu. And just slipped off the gutter. Yeah. No, I mean, it's, sad. But, I mean, if he had survived, maybe some stuff would have come out about him. He did seem to want to delve his hand into Parkinson's privates.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's okay because there's an emu on it, which is a bit, it doesn't count.
I don't think any of our childhood heroes are safe territory, basically. Yeah.
Quick emu, grab the drain pipe. Kenny Everett was the voice of Charlie the Cat. Didn't Charlie the Cat just go like that?
Do you remember Kenny Everett when he was at the Tory party conference?
No. What was he doing at the Tory party conference? No.
Cheerleading Margaret Thatcher.
What?
He did a whole act. Honestly, Kenny Everett was massive Tory, and he went to, I think, two
Clause
party
28
conferences
and him being massively
in the
gay.
80s. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool and normal.
He had these great big foam hands, and he was doing Vote Maggie or something like that, basically.
Jenny says the Tomorrow People. Yeah. Emu was holding the ladder. Fucking emu. Flintstones in Jurassic Park. Flintstones. The Flintstones. Mr. Spoon's garden landscaping services. Apparently, Rod Hull hated Emu. He realised people only want to see the puppet and not him. He was jealous of his puppet.
That's true.
Isn't there a movie about that? Isn't there a movie called Magic from 1978 with Anthony Hopkins? In which he is jealous of his puppet because his puppet's funny and he isn't. He's only funny when he's talking through the voice of his puppet.
I once met Jerry Anderson, and he was in the toilet at BAFTA, and I said, "I am such a massive fan of all of your work," and he said, "I fucking hate those puppets."
Wow.
He always wanted to be a filmmaker, like a serious filmmaker, basically. Yeah. And he made the puppet shows because Lou Grade wouldn't fund his movies.
Yep.
So instead, he was a special effects specialist, and then he invented the puppeteering, basically, as a way of making money, really. So.
Andy Thompson has just dropped £5 in the Super Chat Fund. Thank you very much. We need 2 more. We can do a Boba Fetty. BBC 1974, You'll Never Watch Top of the Pops Again. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. No, I met Jerry Anderson as well when he came to Manchester Fab Cafe and gave a talk there, and he was talking about the start of it and Lou Grade and all that, and he was saying, yeah, the same thing you said. Like he wasn't interested in puppetry. It was just
No.
basically, I think he had an office with a phone, and the phone rang one day, and they were like, "We need to do a puppet show," and he goes,
Yeah, they were nearly
"Okay,"
broke.
and
He
he
was
just
a
said
special
yes.
effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just said, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, we'll do it. And then he put the phone down and he goes, right, we're going to do a puppet show. And they were like, how do we do that? And they're like,
We'll invent it.
we'll invent it.
Basically.
So yeah, that's how they ended
His
up.
son took over the warehouse unit in Slough that they made all of them.
Yeah.
And he's making classic Thunderbirds now. He's resurrected all of the old models, rebuilt new models. He's got a YouTube channel where he
really?
makes new episodes of
Oh, that's
Thunderbirds.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really cool. They made a live action version of Thunderbirds. That's probably the worst ever movie ever made ever, because
It was.
it took
crap.
something that
And
was a good idea and then they made it fucking awful. But
They also
some
made it.
good came of it.
My son worked on. Sorry, go on. What good came of it?
Team America, well, please. Because they watched,
okay.
they watched that and they were like, "What the fuck?" The whole point of Joe 90 and Captain Scarlet and Stingray and all this
Was the puppet.
was the puppets. They were puppets. People went to see the puppets. They liked the puppets, and they're like, "No,
Yeah.
let's do it a live action thing." And like as a live action story, it was shit. With puppets, it was
Well,
fun.
ITV made a CGI version of Thunderbirds as well, and they just completely fucked up in the same way.
Yeah. We did it, Mike. We did it. You know what that means? We're going to have to release the Boba Fetty. Woo! Boba Fetty. Boba Fetty. It's the
Thank you,
Boba Fetty. Oh, I'm Boba Fett. Right. Thank you very much to Maggie Pie for the 20 Swedish krona. Peppa Pig
Thank you,
eats
Maggie.
bacon.
You've been very generous tonight. Very
So
generous.
is she really Peppa Dharma? Does she eat bacon? I've never seen her eat bacon. Don't like Peppa Pig that much. I prefer Ben and Holly's Magical Kingdom. They're much better. Andy, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Horror mashup of Buffy and the Phantom Flanger from Tiswas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffy and the Phantom Flanflinger.
Yeah. That was
I mean,
the
it's
week
niche.
that Tiz was.
It's a niche crossover, but yeah.
Apparently, the Southport guys wanted to buy the rights to Thunderbirds to do a War on Terror satire, but they'd already sold the rights to number 2 from Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah.
Oh, because he directed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
The fact what's his bloody name?
Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes. Yeah, he directed the Thunderbird movie. It was shite.
Mm.
It was shite. Paw Patrol goes dogging.
Paw Patrol is a fucking horror movie. I hate Paw Patrol. I tried to get into it because my grandson liked it.
Yeah.
And in the end, I started a minor campaign in our family to have it banned for all grandchildren. Basically, it's just ridiculous. It's just like so absolutely just designed to sell you a toy. I hate those shows.
When they did the night with Jerry Anderson, all these nerds turned up and got to ask questions, and one of them, I'll never forget this. They turned up with flasks with coffee in, like sitting at the bar. It was like it's a bar, you know. You go in, you buy a drink, and they were sitting there with their sandwiches, and they got flasks. I'm like, oh, for God's sake!
Perfect.
Yeah. And there was one guy, and he sounded like that. If you were going to do an impression of a nerd, you do that kind of voice. Hello, I'm a nerd.
In episode 152.
He did this. Yes, he put his hand up and he said, "Excuse me, Jerry. I would just like to." And he must have waited an entire life to ask this question of the creator of the Thunderbird. He said, "Why is it that when Thunderbird 3 is in the air, the number 3 is a slightly smaller number 3 than it is when it's on the ground?" And Jerry Anderson just went, "We had 2 models and they weren't quite the same."
Yeah.
Next. And it was just like, that was your question. That was it. That was
I'll
your burning question you wanted to ask the creator of this universe.
I'll tell you what was lovely a few
just
weeks ago. It was
I spotted a mistake, Jerry.
it was my grandson's 4th birthday when I went to Madrid. And his dad, Cameron, my son, brought him a die-cast model of Thunderbird 2.
Yeah.
Which was a model that I brought for my son Cameron when he was 4.
Yeah.
Because I'd had one when I was 4. So there are 3 Thunderbird 2s out there, all cast from the same die. But the one that my son had to buy was a adult collector's model.
All right.
Right. So it was still a toy when I brought it for my son 30
Yeah.
years ago. 30 years ago. But he had to pay 60 quid for this bloody thing, basically, in order to give it to his son.
Yeah.
And then Lucas he's going, oh, I've lost the Thunderbird 5. Where's that gone?
What was the big
his
green
dad's
one?
going, That was it, Thunderbird 2.
It was Thunderbird 2.
That was
green
Thunderbird
one.
2.
Okay, that was the one with the number that was different when it was in the sky and on the ground. Number 5 was a submarine, wasn't it?
No, 5 was the rocket.
The rocket.
No, hang on. 5 was the space station.
Okay.
Alan was in the space station, which is basically a satellite, and he was just constantly up in space, looking down
on his own, like
through television
communicating.
monitors.
Sad Alan, masturbating.
He was like the Prince Andrew of the Tracy family. They just kept him out the way.
Daniela says, "I got diced pork and said it was a 100-piece Peppa Pig puzzle."
Oh no! Yeah, kids.
Here Tonight says Cars and Planes is a horror movie. The cars are just humans that evolve or swapped body parts for mechanical body parts, and they became the cars and planes and other vehicles. Yeah, there is a queen in Cars 2, Pixar's Cars 2. The Queen of England turns up as a car, so that implies there was a Princess Diana car that died in the car crash.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all quite dark. Jerry Anderson did UFO, terrible program, but costumes design was out of this world. ITV remade Captain Scarlet in CGI in the noughties with Jerry Anderson, but it was terrible.
It was awful.
The Japanese made anime of Thunderbirds, but with only 3 Thunderbirds. Was that the one where they got together in space and they created the big space robot if they all came together?
Of course, because it's a Japanese show. That's
I'm sure
all they know how to make.
I'm sure there's a Japanese in the 1980s, the Japanese car.
They literally only have one format for shows like that, basically.
It just became a giant
What if
robot in
all of
space.
their toys join up together and cause a giant robot? That'd be brilliant. And fight Godzilla. That's brilliant.
Peter's saying Gordon was in the space station. There you go. It wasn't Alan. It was Gordon.
It was Gordon. It wasn't Alan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan was Thunderbird 3.
Alan.
He was the rocket. Sorry.
Okay. And then Thunderbird 4 was the submarine. The yellow submarine.
That's it.
Space 1999 was supposed to be the next series of UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely do this.
Space 1999 was great. I liked that. That was a good show.
They made some good shit, man. They made some good shit. But then one day they decided, let's start making good shit. Let's only allow 5 people to make anything ever. Well, the rest of us have to go, okay then, 5 people who are allowed to make things, you can continue making things and we will continue
Nowadays,
them.
If it's not in the Marvel universe, you can't make it.
Yeah. But that's what's holding back a lot of Star Wars stuff, is having them set it in the Star Wars universe. If they just ignore the rest of the universe, they do much better. I still recommend you watching Andor. It's very good.
Yeah, no, I should.
Very good.
Absolutely.
It's very good. If you don't like Star Wars...
This week, I started watching The Hobbit.
Oh dear.
Start, actually. I don't know. I quite like it. I haven't seen it for like 10, 15 years, I don't think. I'd forgotten. There's some good bits. It's all right.
Okay. All right.
Bits.
I was talking about that today, actually, on the Sunday sermon. I was talking about how it was rushed because they didn't have time to prep for it, and it really shows. And everyone was just stressed off the tits the whole time they were trying to make it. And it's
you can feel that.
You know, like Lord of the Rings, you had to make 3 movies because it's a hell of a big story. The Hobbit's not that big a story, and so there's a lot of padding in it. There's a lot of padding. I think they should have done it in 1. You know, and then and then if you're gonna have that story, the spin-off thing of what Gandalf got up to once he left them with the Bear Man,
make another movie.
Do you know what? That's gonna fuck you up, isn't it? If you're a feminist and you're hanging out and you're like, what would you rather hang out with, a man or a bear? And there's a guy in The Hobbit who can turn into a fucking bear. You're fucked, aren't you? Either way.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it was shite. They could have done a second movie where it was Gandalf's adventures in I don't know what was it called, the dragon graveyard or whatever the fuck he went to find Sauron and the Witch King. Thanks, Jenny. Martin's not had a good day of it, so we're going to send out some love to Martin today. And,
Sorry, Martin.
And Reverend Kathy says, I am Mona. Moana. They made a hobbit of it. Is that a hobbit? No, it's a hobo and a rabbit, but they're making a hobbit.
Squeaky tank.
It's a joke. It's a joke from Futurama. ADHD is such a pain, says Blue Badger. Do you know anything about ADHD, Mike?
A little bit.
Yeah. Just end up planning to put in underfloor heating in my downstairs, but because I saw free tiles on Facebook, my wife said they would be cold. I figured it out. Now distracted. Andor was great, and season 2 was better, even when Alexander Skarsgård fell ill and was having to use an ear pod due to his health. He's fine now, but suffered a stroke, I think, during filming. Oh my god!
Crikey!
I thought it's not Alexander Skarsgård. It's Stellan Skarsgård. It's his dad.
Rent a Ghost as a horror film. That is absolutely possible.
Yeah. But Rent a Ghost, there's obviously Beetlejuice, which is a bit like Rent a Ghost. And then there's, because they try and get the ghosts to get rid of the humans. And then there's The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, which is directed by Peter Jackson, who directed The Hobbit, bringing it all together. And in that, Michael J. Fox has friends he can see ghosts. And he has 2 friends who are ghosts, and they go into people's houses and do spooky things. And then he turns up as the Ghostbuster, and he gets them out.
And I suppose Monsters Inc. as well is kind of Rent a Ghost, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's how they make electricity, isn't it? Through the screams of children. I love Pixar. How'd you make this up? Through the screams of children. Andy says the whole Lord of the Rings is a bit long and padded. Not Lord of the Rings.
It's a genuinely weird psychological phenomenon here. Is that I, since Christmas, have been unable to watch any series of anything. I've literally only watched YouTube for 6 months, and I was trying to work out why. Because I'm actually doing a bit of therapy at the moment to try and process a lot of the stuff that's gone on in the last 6 months, and I think there's some connection to that. I just don't. I think I've been unable to actually watch anything that lasts, longer than a day, basically, to watch. Which I think there's something deep in there. Sorry, I know we're on a light set of conversations, but I do think it's revealing something deep. So watching The Hobbit actually was quite good for me because I kind of thought, well, I've achieved something there. I've watched all 3 films, and it took me 2 days, in effect. So
yeah, that's good. Get your head back in the game.
Exactly.
Of watching stuff. Anyway, should we wrap it up there? Daniela says, I really enjoyed Lord of the Rings. Yes, I thought it was great.
Yeah. That's next on my list.
Yes. Anyway, most of the cast of Rent a Ghost now are dead, apart from Nadia.
Well, that doesn't matter, does it?
They're still in Coronation Street.
And they're ghosts. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That works.
Just AI them. It's no problem.
That works. Anyway, okay, so thanks very much for watching. As I say every week, almost, or every show that I'm doing these days, we've only got about less than 20 days now for you to write to your MP and tell them that this European, not European, Equalities and Human Rights Act fucking bullshit come from the guidance, the anti-trans guidance is absolute bullshit. So please write to your MP and say, this is bullshit. Can you please do something about it? Stella Creasy's trying to do something about it. Nadia Whittam's trying to do something about it. There's a bunch of other MPs who are standing up, all women, by the way, so far, and said, this is fucking disgusting, this is wrong. So please ask your MP to back them. And if you've already done it once, do it again. Keep hassling them. Because especially the Labour, they really do have to get back to you. So, in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much to my co-host, Mike.
Thank you.
And big thank you to everyone watching, everyone who dropped in a super chat. You are awesome. Thank you very much. Don't forget to give us a like on the way out. If you have given us a like, then don't forget to subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so you'll know when we go live with something or other throughout the week. I'll be doing some more Graham Hughes Rights and Wrongs in the week. I want to get more of my book written, sequel to Man of the World. Here, finally getting it written. There you go. That's how you sort out your ADHD, Mike. And thank you,
It's
Mike, for
excellent.
inspiring me to do that, because the drawn together.
Yeah, no,
series,
it's
I
a
thought,
brilliant
I could do
idea. I was really pleased to
Get
see
my
you do it.
arse
It's a really
into
good
gear.
idea.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been quite fun. It's been quite fun to go back and relive that time. You know, when I was a footloose and fancy free. Well, I wasn't. I was in a relationship, but I was. You know, the world seemed like it was getting better, Mike.
Wow, what did you do wrong? It's obviously your fault. You visited every country in the world. It's probably
broke it.
your fault.
It
You
is.
probably
I
caused
think
this
when
problem.
I did that, it just caused a shift in the space-time continuum that just kind of fucked everything up. A rift.
Totally.
Maybe if I go back to every country in the world now, without flying in
reverse
order, it will undo the curse. I must have
hope so.
pissed off some demon or Polynesian deity or something.
You realize that we have just seeded your ADHD brain with a nugget of an idea that will come back to you in a week's time. What if I do it backwards?
What if I do it walking backwards while juggling on a unicycle? Hey.
Yeah.
George only, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Should I write to Danny Kruger? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, just if that's your MP. I know he's a dickhead, but if that's your MP, yeah.
Yeah.
And Elle says it's not guidance, it's the haters' wish list. You're absolutely right. It is fucking bananas. It is genuinely bananas, and has a good thing to do. Maybe if you do have a dickhead for an MP, write to them and say, I work in this particular situation. What do I do? What is the guidance? Can you explain it to me? Because they won't be able to, because it's absolute nonsense. Anyway, right. So there you go. Billy Clangers. Let's go. Thank you very much, Mike.
Cheers, man.
Legend. Until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'll be back for Morning Brew. I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.